Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. Yes, yes, yes. How we doing today?
I'm fine, Mel. How are you? Trying to deal with this cold.
I know that's crazy. Last week I wasn't here. I'm sure most of you guys knew that, but you didn't hear. Well, I guess you had to listen to a rerun, an old show. But yeah, I was not here. I had a great time. I was down in Atlanta at the biker convention, which is always fun. Always, always fun. Bikers from all over. And you learn the new rules or whatever that's going. I ain't even going to say whatever. You learn the new rules that are going on in your state.
For a biker club?
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know they had rules like that.
Mm-hmm. Like which states have you must wear a helmet. There's a lot of stuff.
Okay.
You have a lot. And then for different club offices. So you'll have like me, I'm the business manager. Mm-hmm. So they have classes for that. They'll tell you what's going on, what's new. If you feel as though that you want to, if whatever you're doing in the community, you know, how to write a 501(c), if you need one, if you are for-profit, not-for-profit, we're non-profit. So you'll just see bikers in your community doing good. And you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. And they'll let you know where to get the revenue from, you know, stuff like that.
Are you guys a 501c3 organization?
Uh-huh.
Wow, you guys can be doing all kinds of stuff.
We do. A lot of people don't know. We just don't put it out there for the accolades, but the people, the individuals know.
I remember some of the fish fries and some of the things you guys would do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, those are fundraisers, and we did donate that. Actually, the Needles Eye in Youngstown, Ohio, which is on Overland, they're starting a computer lab for adults. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was cool, but they didn't have enough money for the up-to-date computers.
Yeah.
So that's all the fish fry money went to that. And Dangerous Curves did it.
Go ahead, you Curves. Shout out to the Curves.
Yeah, but there's a lot that we don't even say. Now, Sojourner House, we usually donate to them. They like it in the paper, though. Mm-hmm. They feel as though that it needs to be out there. All-female club, you know.
Right.
But, no, we don't just be like, hey, this is what we're doing. We just do it.
I think that's awesome. Great job. I mean, I used to know before when I was working with...
oh, yeah, you would know. Yeah, because she'd tell you.
Yeah, so now I don't get to hear as much, but I'm glad to see that, you know, you guys are still reaching out. That's awesome.
Yes. Established in 2004, so we've been rocking.
Motorcycle club, not gang.
Yeah, oh, girl, get that right. Get it right. Get it all the way right. And I have to correct people constantly. I'm like, no. MC.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
MC. We had a lot of fun now. Are you familiar with the Biker Shuffle?
No.
It's a line dance, the Biker Shuffle, which they play not just on the bike scene. Mm-hmm. They play at different parties. Big Moochie, he's out of Cleveland. That's who actually did it years ago. So he'll name the biker clubs that's around. So of course, every time we get I always lose my step on when I'm listening to my part. I'm like, where the Curves at? Okay, it's coming. Let me make sure I'm there so I can give a shout out, you know, scream. But he was there. He performed live at this one, which was in Atlanta. And we went to Atlanta before 4 years ago. The PROC convention, which is public relation officers, it actually started with the public relations officer in your club. Mm-hmm. And then they opened up for other offices. And then your club could come just as a member just to learn.
It looked like you guys had a great time. I saw your pictures posted, including where you must have been wiped out because you were getting your Z's in the airport.
That was on the way back. That was definitely on the way back. I started laughing. I said, oh, you got us. Mm-hmm. But the first day, you know, you have your meet and greet. And then the second day you break out. You have your main general, like, I guess, meeting place. Mm-hmm. And then they'll talk a little bit. They'll give out awards and stuff like that. And kind of tell you the different things. They do a slideshow if you lost any fallen riders. I remember when Honey was up there. That was like the worst. It was like, we don't even want to go. And then you see your person, you know, and they do a whole slideshow. I want to say last year, out of all the black bikers, and it's not just for black bikers, but that's where it started. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 53. It wasn't bad. And when you're talking 5,000, 6,000 club, you know, people, not clubs, you'll be like, oh man. But you do that, then you do your breakout session. So you definitely learn. And then the party is that night.
I bet that was live.
Yeah, the party's that night. Now people get ready for the party. But we actually go up there and go to classes.
So is it warm enough for some people to actually go on their bikes?
It wasn't rained this year, but usually it does. Now, next year it's in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
On there. Mm-hmm. Yep. That'll be nice.
Next year it is in Texas. So, I just got to give y'all a little bit of hot topics of what's going on. And I wanted y'all to listen, but I had a little bit of technical difficulty. Y'all got to look it up yourself. I said, let the games begin. Now, we already know. Let me start with the game first, and then we'll talk about the other stuff. The Game, the rapper. I wanted to give y'all this clip. I'm trying to still find it. Try to see how I can let you guys listen to it. He has a song it released. And it says, now I'm trying to get it verbatim, so give me a little bit of time. It says, oh gosh. Something about Kim Kardashian. He held her by her throat. Made her swallow his kids until she choked. So, on that though, I was like, so you already know, Kanye already spazzed out on Drake. All he said was, Kiki, do you love me? And he quit talking about Kim. Then you had, what's his name? Nick Cannon. You can't get mad. Nick Cannon didn't even really say anything. And then Kanye spazzing out, don't say anything about my kids. Now, what I will say, the game is like, these people are telling their truth. You mad at their truth. You knew who you was marrying. And then they had pictures of Kim and Ray J. Remember, that was the tape. Mm-hmm. Then there was a picture of Kim and Nick Cannon. Then there's a picture of Kim in the game and all these different people. But he actually put that out there.
Where was this posted at? Where was this at?
It's on his song now. He just released the song.
Oh, my goodness.
So you know Kanye is going to spaz out. And I'm telling you, I wanted to sit there and play it for you because it's a little bit. I'm telling you, I ain't making this up. But it did say, it was like I had Kim K by the throat. You know, the N-word. It was like I made her swallow my kids until she choked. N-word.
Who said this?
The Game. That's what the games begin. The game.
He's trying to get back.
And I said, and I thought him and Yeezy was cool, but this is what he actually said, allegedly. They were trying to tell him, don't say that. She had kids now. You know what I'm saying? And they were like,
don't matter. The game is real, man. Don't matter if you got no kids. You know what I'm saying? If you want the not the game, the rapper, but the game.
The game, period.
The game.
That's
that's
why
I said. I mean, when they used to say the mobsters had a truce where they'd be like, well, we don't want the kids or wives involved. You know what I mean? But
now,
hey, when you banging on wax,
fair game, free game. Yeah.
Ain't no rules when you banging on wax. Ain't no rules.
0, 0, 0, 9, 9, 9. I started laughing. I said,
hilarious.
He hit him like Youngstown. Youngstown up here telling everything, exposing everybody.
Yeah.
The game he just wants some momentum.
And you know what? But here's the thing. He was on Wendy. He didn't say anything on Wendy's show. But in his rhyme, this particular, I don't even know what song it is, he just telling his truth. And he said, he was like, listen, this happened. I'm not gonna not say anything because...
Well, I mean, but how many other women has he probably been with that he has not mentioned in his album?
He's mentioned it because he said he's been with 2 Kardashians, not in his album.
Yeah, but
he said that just out.
But I'm just saying, like, other than Kardashian women, what other women has he been with? He has only been with these 2. It's not like he's writing a love story.
It's not a love story?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a love rap. It ain't, I need love. This ain't no LL. You know what I'm saying? This is something, you got a big old butt. And I told you I'd be true.
Yeah, they said the names on that one, remember?
I mean, like, this guy, like, I mean, come on.
Well, Kim K is in a whole bunch of folks' CD songs.
Yeah, but I mean,
because everybody know her.
Yeah.
I mean, they ain't gonna be like, Mel. They gonna say me. They gonna be like, don't nobody know her. She's not relevant.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So he only talking about the people that's relevant. But you know what's so funny though? I took a blast to the past this past week. You know what I've been listening to? That first Digital Underground Sex Packet. The album, it had like Do What You Like.
Yeah.
Humpty song. and it also had Freaks of the Industry on there. And on Freaks of the Industry,
they drop names, don't they?
Oh, well, he don't drop names, but he envisions. He talks about he had a girlfriend or a woman that he was with at the time that looked like Vanessa Williams. There's like the right stuff. He's like, nah, the X-rated video queen, because she did her little whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you know the song, that album does not. I mean, it is viable today, especially when the current level of terrible rap is out there. But I listened to that stuff and I was like, man, this album is off the charts, man.
And you ain't realize it back then?
I mean, back then you realize it, but you're in the middle of it.
It's still relevant today when you go back and really see the talent that goes into that. I mean, they have to put thought into how to make all of that come together like that. I think that is cold.
You too.
Shock G.
Because now they stealing stuff. They stealing music. Like, I can't think of the artist's name. That one girl did her music. I can't think of hers. But let's talk about the Neville sisters right here in Youngstown, Ohio. Why somebody take their church song and get a girl riding on the pony, taking it out to the world? I said, get paid. I can't think of the young girl's name because I don't know. She's up and coming. But I don't think they knew that they'd be playing the Neville song. They probably was like, oh, they in Youngstown, Ohio, whatever. And this was like back in the 80s, the Neville sisters, when they first came out. And they know. I was like, these folks are just stealing songs. And we know that Puffy was known for that. Mm-hmm. Just laying the track, old track, and let you rap over it. It's like, what happened to the talent people? I'm going to need them janky producers to get their life. Because they had to produce the song in order for the girl to sing. Mm-hmm. She probably don't even know. She looked all of, 21. Come on.
Well, ignorance is not bliss in the eye of the law.
It's your right and get paid.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
And I can't think of the girl's name. I'm telling you, I wish I had internet.
Like, she actually tried to do the gospel song over again?
No, she didn't actually. She did. She did their track. And she rhyming on it or whatever. And I can't play it because my stuff. Oh! Yeah, it's out.
You know what's so funny about that? I remember when I worked in Cleveland, man. And it was this kid. I didn't have to go to the hospital with this kid. His mom gave me a ride back. But when she gave me a ride back, she played this song. And she said, it's underground release because it cannot be released just for sale because they don't have the rights for this music. They had the Cheers theme song on there. Man, that song banged. I wish I could play that mug right now. It banged. And this is like early 2003, 2006. Man, this song, if they would have got that released, they would have been at the top of the world. Because they had that, sometimes you want to go. And it was like, boom, man, it was so cold. It was so cold.
I'm like the hook.
Never to be heard by anybody else because it's illegal. So
underground. That's what Rashida started underground.
Yeah, I got that sweet, what they call that? What is it when they go in there to speakeasy? I get that sweet speakeasy music, boy.
I was thinking that. Excuse me. I be having to eat every 2 hours. Let's go with, y'all do know that it's a flour recall now, right?
Flour?
Flour, like you bake with, cook with. General Mills. It actually showed, what is it, the gold medal?
Mm-hmm. Gold medal.
That one is being recalled for salmonella. So if you know somebody that got it in the cupboard, if it says 2020 expiration date, and they get this 2020, get rid of it. I said, 2019, and flour don't go bad after 6 months. Like, how long you had it?
Well, you can hold on to flour for a minute.
Exactly. So it says if you buy flour and it has up to the expiration date 2020, you may be having it.
Is it? When they say, is it just that brand? Because sometimes there's companies who have subsidiary names, but it's the same.
It's General Mills. Yeah. General Mills. So they did put that out there. Oh, okay, you don't fool with General Mills anyway?
Well, not that I don't fool with them, but it's just like, you want me to buy your flour for this much, and I can buy this flour for that much?
Okay, I'll take it.
For that much. It still tastes the same. Flour's flour.
Are you right about that one?
You know what I mean?
Now, let's talk about Holly Berry not getting work anymore.
That's not exactly true. She's in the
Great Work.
Great Work. Well,
let's put that out.
Well, she's actually going to be in John Wick 3.
Good.
Yeah.
They say the reason that she's not getting a lot of people aren't trying to work with her is because her personal life is taking over. So I guess they're trying to bring things back to squeaky clean. And she wasn't really that bad to me. Squeaky clean reputation. But you got directors out there like what? Like, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein?
Uh-huh.
Now, Taraji P ended up talking about why aren't they putting that attention on Harvey Weinstein and they focus so much on R. Kelly.
Yeah, but they did put the attention on Harvey Weinstein. That's why
I get that too. But I maybe
I was going to say they did.
Yeah, I seen that article where she was just saying, yeah, and that was just like, you know what? This is a time where you need to really fall back. Like, she shouldn't. First of all, if you don't know enough about the subject to even talk about the subject, just because you're in the industry, she should have, like, there was no need for her to say anything. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on making terrible
movies.
Well, the last couple, you know what I mean? Just keep focusing on that me and Cookie. You know what I'm saying? You ain't like you outside your scope of the know. Because I mean, Harvey Weinstein is getting it. Like they removed him from all kinds of stuff. So
that's like you ain't heard.
He opened up the doors. I mean, it was like when he was put on blast, everybody started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, and then to make the relevance to R. Kelly, I'm just like, what that got to do with you? Nothing. No, I mean, I think you have a point, but you should have a point of coming from. It's terrible that these things are happening, and leave it alone. Because you up here trying to, like, you can't even
compare. At least Harvey's, they made that decision.
Well, the point, I ain't gonna even get in all of that. The point to me is that you have people who have control that use sexual gratification to either increase or be with somebody, and instead of like going off their raw talent. You know, I mean, that's the heart of it all. Is that why do I have to give you my body when I give you my voice or my talent? You know, and I just think that she, for me, period, she should have just not said shit. Oops. Not said shot.
There you go.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, where we at? I can't even
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm like, you know. So, but, I don't know. The tweet is real, man.
The tweet is real. The social media is real. We're really closer than we think. Remember, before you couldn't get to, like, celebrities. Mm-hmm. Now you got to do it. Just add it on in. If they see it, they see it. They got a better chance of seeing or, reading how you truly feel about the person. Shall we move on? So the furlough, the shutdown is actually lifted for what, 3 weeks?
Pause.
Yeah.
For 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So everybody was excited. I said, this guy's looking for accolades, please.
It's on pause. It didn't stop. It's not over. It's on pause.
Yeah, but even why am I clapping for her? This is like an abusive relationship with the American people. Yes. You caused the pain, and now you want to lick my wounds, and you want me to clap for you. No, you ain't going to beat me up, Ike, and then bring me flowers, and I'm going to be like, thanks, Ike.
But then not to mention, at one time, I seen a report where they were saying that his wall, what he proposed for a wall was $5.7 billion. And what was actually spent from the government shutdown for that time period was $6 billion. You know what I'm saying? So how is he even like working to even like save the American people money? Period. So when you take into account if he was to get the 7.5 and the shutdown that he used to keep people out and a potential shutdown. Well, let's go with the numbers we know. We're talking about almost $12 billion that's going to be used. That for a project that hasn't even been done yet. Because what happens when you contracted something out? What happens? Anybody ever have some work contracted out? Somebody come in and say, "Oh, I got my sink is stopped up," and then they say, "Yeah, I got your sink done, but did you know you got to replace this or you got to do that? And this gonna happen over again if you don't do this." So what happens on top of that contracted price? You know what I mean? Not to mention if we go into another shutdown. You know, and so it's a lot of money being spent for something that he said Mexico was going to pay for. Which
wasn't cool. And I don't understand why he's upset, though. Why are you upset when you said Mexico was going to pay for it and you want the American people to pay for it? I just don't get it. I don't. And I'm not going to get it. So, do you think he has a chance of being reelected?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got to turn some heat on. Can you turn that on just a little high?
The heat is on.
You high? The heat is on this way. Look.
Yeah.
Not a real high. I'm sitting there. I got some. What's that? 1,000 vitamin C emergency. That's
emergency.
what I got. Some emergency. I got some hot tea. I'm sitting there like I will not fall. I will not succumb to this bug that is out here, or this germ. Oh yeah, because it gets on that one. Maybe up a little bit. If y'all hear,
turn it up a little.
yeah, if y'all hear that sound, that's the fan. I mean, that's the fan on the heater.
Heater.
The heat, yeah.
Yeah.
So you think that he has a good chance of being reelected?
Because this is what I want to say. Is that everything that he did that supposedly should have went against the conservative viewpoint, he did before he was elected.
Okay.
He made fun of people with handicaps. He told people to beat up people in audiences. He said he could shoot a person dead on and not get nothing happen to him. He said all these terrible things about women. He grabs them in the whatever. All this stuff. That it was his voice. It was undisputable. It wasn't like ShopTalk with Mel said. Did he say? He said it came out of his mouth.
He said all of those
I
things.
know in front of all those people.
It was still elected.
It was still elected.
And for everything that he's done since, there are people who are very much in support of the state of America right now. They are. They support him. They support what he's doing. They support why he's doing it. I hear it every day.
Yeah.
I thought that he got into office because it hits
it all the way up.
Yeah, I'm like it hit a certain temperature that it just like boom. That's it. I feel as though that people voted. Remember for Harambe? Remember during that election because they didn't like Hillary or him. And thought it was a game, and he got he got more of the votes.
But if you got a person that's gonna vote for somebody that ain't, or something that's not on the ballot,
right?
Then what's the likelihood that they ain't gonna vote the next time?
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? Or if they gonna vote for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You know what I mean? When you got people
playing.
Yeah.
I think they played and was like, oh gosh, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people who are okay with that. That's the issue that I have. There are people who are okay with that. I hear it all the time.
They're okay with it.
And if it was that much of an error, if you will, because people were playing, there are so many opportunities to have reversed this by now.
And it was not, isn't it? Because isn't that something?
The only thing that's
impeachment. I'm like, somebody's saying no.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to get him, that is going to make him unelectable. Well, I won't even go there. The only thing, because he won't be on the ballot. The only thing that's going to cause him not to get reelected, if people actually show up. You wouldn't imagine how many people did not show up that should have showed up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
If we were able to get the numbers of people that came out to vote for Obama out to vote for another Democratic candidate that was a good candidate, that it would never have happened. But the groundswell there has not been that effective. And then the Democratic Party, even that point in time, there was that information that they was kind of slighting Bernie out. And that, to be honest with you, Bernie would have beat him. I think Bernie would have beat him. And the reason, I'm not saying that Bernie was a better candidate than Hillary Clinton, because she has, her resume is stronger than probably anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Bernie connected with people in a real way. You know what I'm saying? Like Bernie, and then the thing was, it'd have been white man against white man. You know what I mean? So some people would have probably slipped back into what they believe could have happened, and that sort of thing. And his message about how these things need to be fixed would have probably resonated more with those people who felt like they were being overlooked by government. Which is funny because the focus of some of those people said, "Well, we need our country back again." What was the difference in operation of this country through all these presidents? Nothing in policy, just something in color. You know what I'm saying? Nothing in policy. Because look, Obama bailed out the auto industry. It's a lot of white people work for the auto industry. You know what I'm saying? Built, did all these things to keep tariffs and stuff low, so we can have a free trade market and do all these different things and fix the banks. You know what I'm saying? So you fix the bank system. Who you talking to? The 1%. He did all of these things. Reformed healthcare. He did stuff on both spectrums of it to benefit everybody. But yet they felt like they didn't have control of their country. So what was the thing that they didn't have control of? The color, in my opinion, I'm saying it, the color of his skin.
That's it.
That's how I see it. Because when you think about it, what policies did he put in place that were bad for working class America? I ain't talking about black or white. Working class America.
It wasn't, and I would have to.
So when they say we need our country back, what is they saying?
They saying just what they saying. They want their country back white, and they want people to be slaves because this here furlough. Let's be realistic here. That's slavery at its best. And I'm gonna tell you what's interesting. Did you know that you couldn't even they weren't able to receive anything from you, like let's say the TSA. I just flew, so that's how I knew it firsthand, because I was like, well, let me at least buy lunch. You know what I mean? They said we're not allowed to accept any gifts. I was like, what? So you tell me. And then somebody had the nerve, I can't even remember who it was. I was, I'll be working, and I heard it on the news where they say, go get a loan. What? It's not affecting you, and you saying go get a loan. First of all, who going to approve them? And if they do approve them, if they get a loan, you going to charge interest and you going to win. Mm-hmm. Quit playing.
Well, and to be honest with you, I'll go even deeper than this, but they might just assassinate us. But but if you look at the timing of events and this whole thing coming into play, there is a very large spectacle event happening in the next couple weeks, next couple days, that could lead to them having such a change of heart. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, and we're going to talk about it off air. So you can,
think about it.
You can hear us next week.
Because you got to get all this stuff up and going, because what's coming down the corner?
All right.
All I know is a dude named Tom is there. Named Tom.
Okay. I don't know Tom, Uncle Tom. I don't know Tom. I'm like Tom the voice.
Stay tuned for next week.
Look. Tom the voice guy. Remember him? The guy with the voice. What is that, Tom? Mm-hmm. The one that was a bum on the street, and then he made all that money. He had like a great radio voice.
I don't know what his name was. He did the macaroni and cheese commercials.
Oh, did he? He doing it. Look, I don't know whatever happened to Tom. Look, too bad you can't see his Tom. Look, I don't know either. Clue. That's another clue?
Yeah, that macaroni and cheese commercial and Tom. If someone calls in or texts with that answer, they will receive a half-eaten gummy bear.
Hey! We're like, yeah, half-eaten at the mug be gone. You can get these Christmas cookies that's sitting on that table. Help yourself.
All right.
I got them. What are they, like? Shortbread? Those like...
they look like
those are butter cookies, aren't they?
Nah, butter
cookies. Some are shortbread, some are the butter cookies.
Get out of here! Let me see a butter cookie. Yeah. After Sunday school. You remember them? Before you get like, what was it, like a little mouthwash, cup of juice, and a butter cookie.
Yeah,
that's
I hated children's church.
You hated children's church?
We got these large butter-filled muffins. We should all have high cholesterol after eating those things. Those were the best muffins ever.
It's because you ran. They get out there and play. Street lights.
Go play. One rule in the winter when they tell you to go play. Don't eat the yellow snow.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't eat the yellow snow. Isn't it amazing how before you could like pick up snow, hit you ate it. I seen people eat it. I didn't eat it. I didn't like outside, but that was me. I'm like, I ain't eating none of this snow. But it was like just ice.
We used to make snow cones with it.
Like, what the heck? Isn't that something?
You can't do that now.
Is that it? It's a lot of pollution. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think we all probably had our moments of eating a flake of snow or whatever.
Right. Did you make it?
I'm here.
He's here.
I'm here, but they haven't did the study yet. You were in snow in your youth during the 80s, and the meals were around.
You know,
genetic mutation caused by eating contaminated.
That's probably what they're gonna come up with. That guy that shot had those women on the floor. You see that young boy, and then he left alive. That's what was going around there. It's like, oh, okay, well they didn't kill him. He left. They apprehended him, and he was alive. And I don't even know why it was his ex-girlfriend. This it was some young kid, his ex-girlfriend, she saw some signs and she told them and let them know that there was some issues going on. I can't revert back to where my research is at because, like I said, I'm having some technical difficulties, so blame it on the brain right now. And she said she told them, and long story short, they didn't take her serious. She told authorities and they didn't take her serious, and then he had like 4 women on the floor and face down and shot them all. White boy. White women. Just shot them all. They said he got mental illness. The only reason I brought it up is because they might say, did you eat snow? He must say he ate snow as a kid. He ate the yellow snow. That's what happened. He has a mental issue. They're trying to say, even with they're trying to say that it's a mental issue with playing video games. Being addicted to video games is a mental illness. Bye, and bye. Everything is addictive. Everything in moderation. You will not sit there and say that it's a mental illness for you sitting in front of the TV or you being lazy. If that's the case, that's what they would say.
You become desensitized when you play video games that are meant for destruction. And as a result of that, your brain is reprogrammed, and therefore you do with people what you do with the video game because you come to a place where you can't tell the difference between the two. That is the defense for that.
And that's exactly what the defense was. But I had an issue with that because I said, no, why would you sit there and allow somebody? It was a grown man, some lady's husband. He played video games all day and didn't do anything around the house.
But what is that? How did he get these women into his home? No.
I think he was out in public. That's for that guy. I done moved on to somebody else.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. That was a younger kid. I couldn't. Like I said, I had the information, and it's all.
That was the yellow snow guy. We into the video games.
Yeah, we into video games with actually saying that people being addicted to video games is mental illness. I'm like, everything is going to be a mental illness if that's the case. I was annoyed by that.
Well, I think the thing is, at the heart of it, I don't know if it's an issue with what the stimulant is that someone has an addictive personality, and they choose that as their drug of addiction.
Listen, you could stop that. If a little kid is sitting there, you be like, I need you to go outside and play. Play what? I don't know, jump rope, throw.
Well, but if you ain't not an authoritarian type of parent, then you might be laissez-faire. I told you that you should play less video games because reading's better. You got to make a decision, Johnny. Do you want to be a better reader or a better video game player? Or you say, give me that Xbox and bring it up and give me that all the games.
And then when they go to bed, you sit there and play them.
This is so fun.
My room was full of everything. I was like, I ain't got space. I took everything from them. If they sat there and wasn't acting right, punishment, give me this, give me that. Then my room turned into too much stuff.
Yeah.
And guess what? They took punishment so well, they didn't even care. It was like, on to the next.
Well, punishment in the 2000s is way different than the 80s.
Yeah, I guess so. Because they were like, oh, your kids, were they on video games? Not much. 2 times. Matter of fact, I think he forgot he even had an Xbox. Set it up there. Yeah, that was right. Sitting with him to go with the father and came back to father to switch and use his because his was new and gave him the broke one. How we do that?
See, for us, like when me and my son growing with him, we only had the system connected to one TV, and that was the main TV. So we played
the main TV?
The main TV.
Oh, shucks!
Because I was sort of like, I was playing, but not really playing. Like, I wasn't like a huge, like, I got to play Madden and have all that out. I was more like adventure games and stuff. Like, what's the meaning of this story to the character? And why does it mean so much to them to make it through the game? I got to help them, overdo this large injustice, save the crystal, save the planet sort of thing, whatever. But that was the thing, was like, it was, like, I got a call about this the other day. Someone said kids watching TV or whatever, and I was like, the issue isn't them so much watching the programming and stuff. It's like, what are you as a parent doing to interact with them as they're watching some of this programming? You know, like, are you saying, oh, look at such and such this color. Is this what color? Or stopping it and then having a conversation about some things. Like, you can use video as a strong teaching tool, but what are the comprehensive pieces you're laying on top of that? Just not just this particular show, but how do you build upon that? You know, and so that's one of the things I talked about with this person.
I think that's a good idea that you said that you put it on the main television. If it's on the main television, then you actually monitor how much time they're spending on it, especially if you're watching Cheers. Cheers come on at 8 o'clock, and you be like, we got to turn that off.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way of kind of monitoring it and making sure that they don't end up with a mental illness.
It worked out well for us.
It did.
You know. And then, like, some of the other games, too, we played, too, was... one was called Gran Turismo. It was a racing game, so you had to like race your cars or whatever, get points to build new cars and better cars and stuff. So I really.
So it was the games too.
Yeah, I think some of it is the games. You know, like I never bought my son Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Or did I? No.
What is that one?
That's the one where they show like the prostitutes and the guys steal the cars and all that stuff. He beat them up and take their money.
That's a video game?
Yeah, it's like
it was a very popular video game.
It's like in his sixth installment or something. It's been like, it's from Rockstar.
Mm-hmm. Did I see that video game?
Probably not.
You probably seen it, but didn't know that you said,
That was it?
Everybody had Grand Theft Auto. That was a popular video game.
That's crazy.
And like some of the children that their parents didn't buy it for them, they got it from someone else.
No, I'm sitting there thinking, like, I feel like I seen it. Did I see that?
No.
I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was around,
they had to trade 5 of their games to get that game.
It was like one of the when they really start doing the ratings for mature and stuff on video games and stuff. Like that was like one of the ones that led the way.
Dang, all I was doing was playing like Donkey Kong, Burger Time, Qbert.
Yeah.
Boy, they came a long way.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's crazy because it's like a sort of like a mafia mentality with it. And he's doing all these things, make these deals and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Wow.
The stuff you see today.
Oh, the real life.
I mean, it's even an exaggeration on that, I would say. You know, I've not seen a person get out of a car and just beat somebody down the street, take their money, and then run back into another car.
Keep reading the news.
I mean, we see segments of it, but as far as like the continuous action of the whole like I'm out running the police and it's some fantasy in there, but.
There's some fantasy, but it's still fed and it feeds. So the title of this is "Let the Games Begin," right?
Yes.
Have begun. So we take a lot of stuff and we take it lightly, but it's real.
We've become desensitized to
it. And we need to really, stop just blowing stuff off like, oh no, that doesn't have anything to do with it. I remember being in high school. No, I was in junior high probably when they said that your peers didn't have any influence on you.
That's nuts.
They told us that.
But that was back when she was in high school.
Yeah, and then the whole thing, now they got peer pressure.
That's my point.
My mother talks about having peer pressure when she was a kid, and she's 77.
Yeah. So some
yeah, she look good.
Yeah, we like to blow off a lot of stuff. We got to start taking responsibility of the things that we let go. Even with, when you're talking about those games. And even all of the negative raps. Rappers today will even tell you that they rap differently now. Some of them don't even do it at all because they see what's happening. They understand the pouring into the mind and the different directions. They grew up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Even the process of deception with rapping. I remember I'd be in the car with my daughter and a song would come on the radio and she's humming the whole song. I'm not thinking anything about it. So one day, we were listening to, one of the radio stations on the internet where the real words are there. And I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is the music I'm listening to? And she said, why do you think kids hum the songs? Because they don't want to make a mistake and say what they know they shouldn't say in front of their parents. So there's like a whole other world and a whole other mindset that goes with this stuff. I never thought about why they humming the songs. She said, because when parents aren't around, we singing the songs. I said, you saying this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
She said, of it. She said, but that's how it is. You guys don't know what we really listen to.
Now, let me tell you what's interesting about that. Let me tell you what's... Anybody that know me, they know I love me some MC Lyte. Listen, cha. MC Lyte is like a great lyricist. Yeah. Hate I missed her when she was in the down at YSU the other day. Anyway, I'm thinking back like our songs, and you'll be like, oh, they ain't say that with our songs, and blah 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 blah. Listen to what they saying right now. If you got Sirius XM, I heard MC
That
Lyte.
was
it. Listen,
Serious.
when MC Lyte was, I was like, she said that. What? I'm like, they was cussing way back then in New York, hardcore rap. And I'm thinking it came out. I'm thinking everybody done went to pots after NWA came out. Everybody just went crazy. West Coast came and they just blew their mind. West Coast was actually saying it. They had the clean version in New York where rap actually started. Hip hop. Well, I'll say hip hop actually originated. New York, East Coast. Okay, argue that all you want. West Coast just took it to a whole nother level. But I had no idea that I was singing the radio version songs.
I'm telling you, girl, I was messed up.
And Sirius XM, I was like, what?
She said, because you don't want to slip up and say what they're really saying, so we just hum it. Because we don't want to be disrespectful.
I had no clue. Me and Doug was talking, I'm telling you, and then we both looked at it because we was in the truck together. And we looked at the radio, was like, what?
I had a preteen ask me to look at this video. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And she was like, please, will you look at this, please? I didn't even know her. And I looked at it. And I was like, wow. And it wasn't the rap stuff. This was a whole different style of video, a whole different type of feeding. But I saw it. You understand? And like I said, I didn't even know the young lady, but she wanted me to see it. And then she like, please. And I'm like, okay.
Did she want you to see it because she was disturbed by it? Or, I mean, why was she so adamant that you saw it? Because, I mean, that's just... because I'm wondering if kids don't see anything wrong with it. Like, today, I see young kids just cussing each other out. They don't care if adults are around. Ooh. I mean, when we say let the games begin... There's a whole lot of playing going on out there.
Oh, yeah. And people just are not paying attention, and they're blowing it off because of their own ideology, but they're not paying attention. It's like even your animals, they cannot speak your language. They're with you every day. And if you watch them, you will be able to see, okay, this is what they're trying to tell me. That's right. They're scratching by the door. Okay, you want to go out. And you learn to pay attention. And you notice that something has changed about their behavior. Now you're trying to figure out what it is. If my dog is not feeling well and I fed them this all the time, now they went outside and I let them out there by themselves, did someone give my dog something? Why is my dog ill?
Right.
And you are taking that dog to the vet to find out what's wrong with my dog. But we don't do that with our children because we're too busy calling them something else and not realizing that you even halfway treating them like something else. A goat.
Oh, that was my presentation last week.
Was it?
It's in the atmosphere.
It was. But, you know, I was wondering the other day, just listening to some of the kids, because the kids talk to me about a lot of different things. I said, am I becoming the new old-fashioned?
Look, right. Well, listen, let's hurry up and get this going. I want to know, Roogle, real quick, what is happening in the movie world?
Well, everything that's going on right now is surrounded around the big show. It is the Oscars. Now, we have some great movies that are up for Best Picture. Okay. One of them in which we did a special at the movies for. Black Panther is up for Best Picture.
Yeah, wait, I didn't even got to do that. Let me put it.
Yes, along with Black Klansman and Green Book.
We talked about Green Book, Black Klansman. Did you see Black Klansman?
Unfortunately, I did not see it.
Oh, you would have loved it. I loved it.
I did not. I went to see Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that was a good movie too, which people think it got snubbed as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
So Spike Lee is up for his
Black Klansman.
For Black Klansman as a director, you know, and so it's gonna be. I mean, it's still mighty white Oscars, but there are some really good opportunities for some movies to get some shine. Especially Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse. That's up for Best Animated Movie, which I attempted to go see last night, and I fell asleep in the movie, y'all. I cracked a tooth before I went to the movie, and I fell asleep at the movie. That's why I say no snacks at the goddamn movie.
And wait a minute, he don't even take snacks to the movie. I don't even
take snacks. But I took my nephew, I said, let's get snacks. Then cracked my tooth on a sugar-coated bean.
Oh man.
That would be a Boston baked bean, sugar-coated.
Yeah, sugar-coated bean.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I was like, what in the world? Because I didn't even know what happened. Then my tongue, I hit up in there now. It's all real Sharpie. And I was like, oh, Lord.
That was some baked bean.
Some baked bean.
Was it Boston?
It was a baked.
Or
Are we allowed to say?
Yeah, you can say.
It was Boston.
Oh, it was a Boston baked bean. Okay.
Wow.
Wow, I'm like, man.
Did you look at the bean at all? Did it ever crack? Because maybe it was something else.
I was eating the snacks before I even got to the theater. I'm driving down the road.
He ate the snacks before he got there.
Like I don't even I don't even remember like the shard of the tooth. Like it's gone. It's in my digestive system, I guess, because like it wasn't like I was like, oh, here is a piece of tooth. Like it was like gone.
Wow.
That is something. Wow. Hey, I want to put this out here, which I was going to say at the end. We dedicate this show to Lonnie Brownlee, cooler than a mug, a good friend of Roogle. Maybe that was him.
Cracking my tooth on a.
No, have you fallen asleep in the movie? Haven't you shaved with Moose?
Yeah,
All yesterday. I was laughing.
I had a pretty rough start to my day. I was preparing some things for work for the next day. I didn't go to bed till like about 2 o'clock.
He's a jokester, Lonnie Brownlee. Let me put that out there. He's known for his jokes.
Yeah,
he had me on the floor rolling.
I woke up and instead of putting my styling mousse on my head, I put it on my face and started to shave with it.
Oh my!
And was like, "Why is this not foaming right? This is not foaming right." And I was like, "Oh, this is why. This is not even what I should be using." But yeah, we did lose a great talent that was never actualized to the public, you know, outside of his social media post as "Hey Kool-Aid."
Yeah, Kool-Aid.
We were really good friends, and I was unable to make his services that was just held, but
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Why he having all them issues?
Yeah. But I had family representation there and everything, and they actually put me in the program, so I was happy about that. Not happy about it, more or less honored. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know. You know, it would have been a surprise to me had I wouldn't have seen it. But just the lives that it affected, and like, for example, John Wilson was there from his things that he's doing.
Mafia ties.
Mafia ties, yeah. And then a couple other friends and stuff, and he is the first cousin of the opera singer Lawrence Brownlee. So I guess his regrets were also there as well, because he had a commitments he couldn't get out of. But, yeah, he was a guy that was known, loved by those who knew him. And really a real good friend of mine, especially like because we had a lot of odd jobs and different things together. So it would, I could go on and on. I could just do a show just off of those interactions. Jobs. You know what I mean? Yeah. We were at the Coconut Grove, which was probably...
he was at the Coconut? He cooked with you?
For a minute, then he moved on to the bar. And then we used to have these parties, Halloween parties, and we gave away Thanksgiving dinners. Like, it was different. Like, it was like we had a perfect balance with the neighborhood. We viewed it as a neighborhood bar and not necessarily a club. You know what I mean? And so what did the neighborhood want? Well, this is what the neighborhood wanted. You had a certain groups that came in the morning. They wanted to have a time to drink, listen to their country songs or whatever it was, have some wings and stuff like that. Then as it got later, you got this more progressive party club group that would come in, and we would be able to transform into that with different events and things that we would do.
Okay.
So it was a nice little balance, and it was just really one of the things that when I think about the stuff that went on, like I would have never imagined that this level of thing was happening, like across the spectrum of good and bad.
Right. All righty. Well, there you have it. Hey, Kool-Aid.
Hey, Kool-Aid, R.I.P.
Yes, and everybody know him from that. Kool-Aid. Even like if I go to the grocery store and I just look at packs of Kool-Aid, you instantly think of him even before this actually occurred. All right, so what do you think? Well, let's talk politics real quick. We talked about the shutdown real fast. We learned that they can't accept anything, which is so sad because and I said I wasn't even going to talk about the shutdown. You know where tips originated from, right? The origin of tips, like when you go out to.
No.
I'm mad. I'm mad at these people sitting here. No, I'm not that mad at you. Well, it actually started from slavery, and it took me back. That's why I was so disturbed when I went through there. Through the TSA. It actually started from slavery. So what would happen? The good slaves, I'm using air quotes, and you guys can look this up. Please go to the library and research it, and don't go to Google because they just put some things they don't want you to know. What happened before is it's like, okay, you were the good slave. I'm using air quotes. You get to come to this restaurant. You get to serve people. Now, they didn't get paid, but people would the white man, air quotes, would tip them. That's where tips actually derived from. So I need y'all to look that up. I ain't making this stuff up. I'm telling you, y'all already know. I'm a reader, especially with stuff like that I'm really interested in. Right. And that's how tips originated. So now, I go to TSA, and I'm going through there. This one. So we in the line real quick. Y'all already know I always got something. It's me, and I'm putting this out there so you get a visual. Me, my friend, she's black. 2 black people, and like 6 white people. Younger black kid. Just get an attitude with us. We just walking in the line, and they shut down 2. So 4 lanes were open. I'm right there. I'm the first one to stop when he decides to shut it down. But don't tell us, okay, I need you guys to go down there. Didn't tell us. He talking to those other people we don't know. He gonna look. Oh, man, y'all need to see the video. This needs to be on video. He's like, go down to the next one. And then he hit me with the, how you had a soup kitchen? And they just put he like, that's all they had to do. So I looked, and I said, he done nod his head like, gone. Actually, he said gone. That's what he said. So now I got to respond, because that's just me. I was like, don't get mad at us. We ain't doing. Trump did that. So then the other people, I said, and I didn't even vote for him. So all the other white people in the line, the other 6 people, they was like, me either. Well, he mad. And then it was an older white guy and an older black lady. And she said that this was her 4th furlough that she actually was involved in. And the older white guy was nice. He picked up a job, Lyft. And so he said, yeah, I have to come to work. And then after I leave here, he said, or come and volunteer my time. That's how he put it. And then he picked up a second job because his wife, and he was 61, I want to say. And he said his wife never worked. So they're really being hit. So I wanted to buy him lunch. And that's when he said that he couldn't. And then the little black lady, she looked to be about like 66 years old. And she said she enjoys people. She said, oh, this is my 4th furlough. I'm fine. And I thought it was really, really nice. She said, here's where the issue is. She said, we got these younger people that come in here. And I don't even think it's just that job, but it's just overall. She said, what do? They take their checks. They go out and do whatever they do. They go shop, and then they don't have anything. She said, you have to prepare.
That's it.
You have to prepare. She said, you put something aside. And this ended up going on a little bit more. She said, like my grandkids, they'll come and ask me if I have something. If I have it, I have it. They can get whatever they want inside my house, but I'm not going to the bank. I started laughing, and I'm like, that's a good way to look at it, because she did say that that's how I found out this was her 4th furlough. So she kind of knows what to expect. Like they say, it's a saying, and I'm going to mess it up because it's in my head right now, where young people, you may have the energy to go faster on the road, but the older person knows the road. So it's kind of like, you might want to look around. And then that's when we said, and my club sister who was behind me, she said, oh, is that why he upset? Because he like, gone. Well, you won't be getting lunch on me. And then the other ones that checked the security, everybody was really pleasant except that particular guy. I said, well, he should have just called off. Guess what the old lady said? He don't have no vacation time. He done used it up.
he's just a bad hire.
Right, he was just a bad hire.
But that's money management 101. My grandmother
used
always say, pay yourself first. That doesn't mean that you go out and buy everything at the mall and in the stores. That means you put some money aside for you just in case. Because that's not just a government issue. You can have a job at 1 o'clock today and not have one at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay.
So you should always prepare for something like this. My question is, though, do they get back pay?
Yes, they get. But here's the problem. But you got back bills.
Well, yeah.
So it's really
you're right.
You're still not winning. You're right where you left off.
And do they tax you on that big lump sum of back pay?
Now that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, but
they taking the money anyway.
Taking the money right back.
You got it.
But what I'm saying is,
they should
lump sum check, and they're going to tax that lump sum, which is going to be more than if they would have got a little bit over the period of their pay time. That's, it is not sad. Right. They're going to take more taxes out of that.
It is sad, but I will say, the American people. I'm proud of the American people because there's a lot of churches. Like if you have, if you are a government worker and the furlough affected you, they were feeding you. We have some locally here. Help me here. I just found out. I can't even think of the restaurant where they're feeding. They give them lunch. Kravitz. I knew it was something just recent. Mm-hmm. Kravitz on Belmont, Youngstown, Ohio. Is like, boom, government worker. You can come in here and eat free. I think that's nice that the American people are coming together. And I'll tell you what else was an eye-opener when I offered. And it was like, here you go. I didn't think of that. I was like, let me get you lunch or something. They said, we're not allowed to take it. How honest are those people? Mm-hmm. How honest? You know what I mean? They're like, no, thank you. This is what we do.
Because they know the government is real. They don't know who you is.
That's why
Big Brother is agent. Watching.
Male agents.
And they probably be like, let the gays begin.
ShopTalk with Agent Mel.
Yeah, like, here we go. But I thought that was so sad. But then, too, I don't know if, like, the airport might be doing something for them or whatever. But they didn't share that information. But one guy did say that, he said you wouldn't believe, he was a younger guy. The guy with the attitude, he looked to be about, like, 25, 26. But the one guy, he looked to be about, like, 30 or so. Very, very nice guy. He said you wouldn't believe how many people. He said that's what makes him want to come back. Mm-hmm. Offer
to
help them.
So where it looks like the country is splitting one way, it is coming together in another, and maybe that is the light that we can take from this situation.
Absolutely. Well put. She knows she put it together, don't she? She put it together, yeah. Be like, translation.
Because,
Kim to go to, girl.
You gotta find a way to see the good in a situation like this. So many lives were affected, and people who never pay attention to what's happening on the government level
are paying attention.
Well, you were forced to. It's income tax time. People need to eat every month. I mean, everybody was looking like, okay, who's going to help resolve this? And neither side was, talking. So we didn't know what was going to happen. And the truth of the matter is, we still don't. So for everybody who sees that we are on pause with the shutdown,
pause 3 weeks.
Pause. Take these next few weeks to plan for if we shut down again. Don't take all of, these assets and, your back pay. Yeah, you got to pay your bills, but prioritize what you have to pay. Mm-hmm. Just in case
something
this
jumps
happens
off.
Again. Yes, you want to keep your good credit. Yes, you want to be able to stay in that arena. But if you need to put some aside and make sure you have somewhere to live and something to eat and something to drive, then maybe some of this other stuff will have to wait until after we see if this shutdown is finally over for good.
Right.
The only way that happens is that we actually get a budget in place for at least a year versus nickel and diamond throughout a year.
Yeah.
It's a wake-up call.
Mm-hmm. This is a good time to talk about money management because you should be able to live at least 2 to 3 months. Ideally, they'll say 6 to a year. But realistically, put yourself about 2 to 3 months ahead and see. In the summertime, best ways to do that is to, when the gas bills are cheaper and the light bills are cheaper because you're not using them as much, pay extra on them so that you go into the wintertime with some credit. You got to start thinking survival because this could happen at any time again. To anybody.
Me, I just pay the same amount. Mm-hmm. And then in the wintertime, you see that that's not sufficient enough because then they be like, hold on. I'm like, wait a second. What happened? So that's a good idea.
if you get a steady residence, it's gonna be. But if you transient, I don't know if I'll be getting the money ahead of time.
Yeah, be like, I was gonna be there.
This ain't not my water bill when I leave here.
Well, do it for your gas and your electric, because your utilities will follow you if you're living on your own. Some of that stuff, pay ahead.
I will say, when you spoke about, in case people don't know, like food stamps, when you said if you're able to eat, food stamps stopped with the government shutdown. WIC stopped with the government shutdown. The reason I know is because I was in the line at the grocery store. This girl had a WIC. She had WIC vouchers, and it wouldn't take it. They weren't able to take it. And she's buying food, I guess, for her kids. And I felt compelled to try to help her until I looked at what she purchased. And what I saw...
Well...
She's like, go get those Doritos. It was a whole bunch of junk, but she had the milk and the eggs for the WIC, but she had extra stuff on her food stamp card, and what she bought was junk. Now, this is just me. I said I felt compelled because I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, let me try to help, because I had a few dollars. I ain't got it like that, but let me go ahead. But then when I looked at what it was, and I'm mad because I'm a diabetic. I can't eat none of that stuff. I can't buy it for myself. I ain't buying it for you. Let me say this, though. But I did, her WIC wouldn't go through. And right before I was getting ready to pay for the eggs and the milk, because I'm a trust and believe. I'm sure everybody has been there. They be like, I just need some eggs and milk and don't have it like that. I was in my mind. I didn't say anything. The lady at the register, the cashier, she let her have it. She let her have that. And the grandmother's always do. The grandmother got all the junk.
Well, I think the thing is...
So hopefully she didn't lose her job, because I didn't say where it was at. But
it speaks to a larger issue, though, when it comes to people and what they value for nutritional... Like, what nutrition they want. Or even have an idea of that. So my thing is...
Little Debbie brownies.
Yeah.
I'm mad about it.
I mean, because I was behind a person who it seemed like they were grocery shopping. They had a lot of stuff, and it was some stuff where I was like, well, I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't buy that. But then I was like, well, but I pat myself on the back, but I can cook. You know what I'm saying? So I can get like raw ingredients that I can use in multiple dishes and all that kind of stuff, and say, let's say that person made that one Hot Pocket. Well, all I would need is some flour that don't got salmonella in it. You know what I mean? Make my own dough.
Salmonella free flour.
Yeah, make my own dough or whatever, and like say, okay, I got these sliced deli meats and stuff. Yeah, and then make your own rolls and all that kind of stuff. You can do,
Maybe I'm gonna go get me one of them things.
Yeah,
what's some things?
Rolling pin.
Yeah, there you go.
Those would be really good. Yeah. Remember those?
Who?
Yeast rolls. You had to make the dough and let it sit overnight or something.
I don't know, but he talking about this cooking. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm getting inspired.
I'm saying like if people don't have those skills anymore.
I don't have those skills.
Well, that's why I say anymore. but if you look about like if you look at like your grandparents and all that stuff, I mean, it was like, okay, we need bread or whatever. Now sliced bread is great. You go and buy it, but you also say like I have an aunt. Always made dinner rolls.
How you make bread? With non-salmonella?
Non-salmonella flour. You want to start off with, you want to get some yeast. You know, and then it's, flour, water. I mean...
some baking powder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
It's not, yeah, but it's...
water.
But the point I'm saying is that, like, knowing how to do those particular things, knowing how to build... The foundation helps you a lot. So, like, when you get, like, a person who says, well, I want to get this rice that's, like, a cheese, broccoli rice or a chicken rice or whatever. So, you go and you buy that one pack, right?
I do.
Now, okay, so how much that one pack you get, like, maybe a serving for 2 or 3 people?
That is very accurate. I did it yesterday. It's broccoli, rice, and chicken. I just did it. It was $8.62 or something like that.
$8.62 for one pack?
Yeah, it's like a box.
Oh, you had like
yeah.
Like you just heat it up and it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how much does a bag of rice cost you?
That's a good question.
$1?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, rice is cheap, especially if you buy it in bulk. I mean, you might get 25 pounds or something for like maybe $19, $15, somewhere around that area. Rice. But the point is, how often are you gonna eat rice? Rice ain't going bad. You just gotta keep rice dry.
That's a lot of rice.
It has a recall on it for
Right. It's got a recall on it.
For salmonella.
Yeah. But the point is like those are things like if you buy those particular things in bulk and you say, well, what do I need to make it cheesy rice? All you need is some cheese and some milk, and you want to chop up some broccoli, chop up this, dice up the little broccoli you got. If you want to do some chicken or whatever, you know, you don't even need a whole. You could probably make that dish and only use it one chicken breast or one piece of chicken if you dice up the meat and then put it in there and everything like that. And even you could boil the chicken beforehand, season it, boil it, and then use that same water that you use to do your rice.
Oh,
after
that's a cooker.
Yeah, but the point I'm saying
so the
is
point you're making is don't judge the person in front of you if they buy bad stuff because maybe they can't cook.
Exactly. That's one point in mind.
That's all.
Because if you are led to help them, what they do with your help is up to them. You are led to help no matter what.
That's what I do with tithes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's tithes. What you do with this tithe money is your business.
But what these do with this Doritos,
but I see that.
That's on me.
Okay. That's almost like somebody asking me to buy them a pack of cigarettes. I don't smoke. I'm not buying you a pack of cigarettes because I know what it'll do to you.
Well,
but this was different because this is for but you drink beer.
Like, you need to drink. Shit. Everybody need to drink once in a while.
But you drink. But you drink, so it's like, will I take you to the store? I'll take you, but I'm not spending my money.
So are we the new old fashioned? Because back in the day, a buggy like that was a treat for us. We didn't have all that stuff at home. McDonald's was a treat for me.
Now I will say this as far as my upbringing and eating. We were eating, I was a kid, O'Cara burgers. Are you guys familiar with that?
What?
Exactly. Because I wasn't raised on no meat. Okay, I got that when I got older. That's why everybody's like, oh, man, you were so tiny. That's because I'm hungry. Okay? So that's what, veggie burgers. That stuff they doing now, I knew about it a long time ago, the health food store.
Yeah.
So I was brought up getting the right stuff. The cereal with the what was that one cereal I wanted? Cookie Crisp. That was it. I didn't even like chocolate, but I realized that once I got it into my milk turned chocolate, it was bad. But that was like a major treat for me. But it didn't happen often. Now I would go over to my cousin's house and I seen Kix. I ain't know nothing about Kix, okay?
Kix? Is that Wick? Wick is
listen, that's what I realized as I got older. As I got older, I was like, oh, that's why they had Kix up on their refrigerator. But it really wasn't any. I can honestly say I don't remember Superstars. I was able to get that. That was a popsicle.
Yeah.
So I was able to get the different. Yeah, I was able to get different popsicles. But I really don't remember. We had cookies, but I wasn't a big cookie eater, so that stuff stayed.
All of that stuff in our house were treats.
I can't think of what it was, y'all. She used to give out.
Who? Yeah, she was.
It was kind of like a cookie. But it really wasn't a cookie.
Well, what did you give? He talking about the stuff you used to give out. He said it was kind of like a cookie, but wasn't a cookie. That's what I'm saying.
It was something like, what was that? I can't think of it. It's gonna come to my mind because it was something
cookie,
like
not a cookie.
It was like some health type stuff.
Yeah, it was something like I know it wasn't no Chips Ahoy. I can't think of what it was. But it's like, oh yeah, here you. I'm like yeah.
But the group, the neighborhood group even had a name. I don't know if y'all remember that or not, but y'all were called the Future Leaders of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You remember that?
And you're doing good. You're doing good. Keep on running your race.
Actually, yes, because you got like John Wilson coming over. Yeah. Everybody doing stuff. Yeah, you guys are the future leaders. Look, you guys are the future leaders of tomorrow. I was out.
And he was always one that thought outside of the box.
Forever.
But now everybody's catching up with him. You know what I'm saying?
Forever.
So, Jack is out the box and he's out of there to stay.
Listen, the job you and I worked together, they told us that. They told me that.
What about him?
With the job that he and I worked together, they said, you are not of this culture here. You think ahead of the rest of the people you work with.
Listen.
They told me that.
Let me tell you something. I don't know. I think he was about 14 or 13. 14 or 13. Standing there in the living room, and he used the word "be." So my mother's like, "Oh, you can say it now. I forgot. Go ahead and say it."
Can you say "be"?
You can say it. I
don't think you can. I mean, you can say it. But I don't think you can say it.
Listen,
I get the freedom to say it, but the repercussions of saying it is a
he said "be," and we're like, "What?" He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a TV word in another what? What did he say? 10 years, 15 years?"
Yeah.
And guess what? On TV, it is. And when it first came out, I'm telling you, I went right back to that conversation. I'm like, well,
girlfriends and friends call their friends that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never did.
Oh, girl, B, you wearing that, B? I'm like, what? No,
that's not a term of endearment.
No.
You gonna have to still say, "Hey, girl, I'll be a girl."
Yeah, it kind of slipped out, and he apologized because I was an adult, but then he followed up with the group.
It's gonna be
a TV cuss word.
And we like, yeah, right. Doubted him. Don't doubt Roogle. Yeah, look at him like, I don't know. He be on it. But that's what I like.
I spent it. Spent all my magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you even talking about?
We were talking about different people.
What's in the buggy in front
of you.
So
yes.
So when I seen all that stuff, it was stuff where I was like, well, I understand where he's going with it. But I would have did it this way and have more of these essentials to be able to build and make those things, like your own
and make it stretch.
Chicken nuggets, my own, like I wouldn't bought the powder ones, But food preparation.
They had a recall on chicken nuggets 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's okay because I just bought chicken breasts and cut them up and then did my thing with it,
Okay.
But that's the thing, and it's a better thing. It's a better product, when you do it yourself. And then there's a lot of ownership and honor to that, especially like because some of the stuff I could tell that he wasn't just buying stuff for himself. It seemed like he was buying for kids and everything like that too. But it was like, the pride that kids get from having that interaction actually make something versus saying, well, take it out the freezer, put it on the plate, put it in the microwave.
Okay.
So, yeah. When my son was young, I remember I go.
Your son had full course meals at 1.
Yeah. I remember a
whole steak.
We was up on the east side, and I went to my neighbor's house like, hey, I'm making, and she I think she kind of laughed. I said, hey, I'm making dressing, but I forgot to get milk. Can I borrow like 2 cups of milk from you? And she was like, yeah, but I think the thing that shocked her more or less was because I came and I asked her, and I was going to pay her. I said, hey, I'll pay you. I just can't run out right now because I got all this other stuff going on. She's like, no, don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
She's like, you make it dressing.
Yeah, and she knew what time it was. She was next door, so she smelled all the crispy, good deliciousness that was coming out of the crib. So it was real.
Yeah, that's him.
So I'm like 20. I'm like 24. Knocking on her neighbor, like, hey, I'm about to make some dressing.
Was she older?
She was probably, I would say, probably 50, maybe.
Okay, yeah, she was older than 24.
Yeah,
she probably got a kick out of that. Like, this is a cooker. I got all these papers here. Listen, the moral of the story. Come on, wrap it up. Is look at Kim, the go-to girl.
If you're gonna buy it, buy it, and if you ain't.
Look. Feed your kids. Look, I didn't realize when I was younger, but I'm thinking like I don't remember eating bad, and what I didn't like liver. I didn't like that, but I can't say that I actually ate bad. I would go over to my family member's house, and that's when I was able to eat bad, and it was really delicious.
When I was a kid, I ate what I was fed. That was it.
Yeah, there you go.
You didn't know if it was good or bad. You knew what you wanted, but you knew what you were going to get. Like I said, McDonald's, my hamburger, my fries, and my strawberry shake was a treat. But the times are different. Even when I was raising my daughter, I was so busy, so she had more fast food growing up than I did.
I think so. We're living in a microwave society.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of that. I'm trying to think of how many times I've asked, like, this for dinner. Like, would you please make this for dinner? I don't remember actually asking for like a meal to be made.
We didn't have that. You ate what was there, like she said.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I ever say, can we have, like they have a commercial? Mom, can we have stovetop tonight? Like what?
Stovetop? What is that?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was a commercial.
I learned that when I got older.
Some cornbread, get you some sage, some chicken soup, and mix that stuff up with some celery.
These some cookers. These are some cookers.
But I'm just saying, like when you look at those commercials and stuff like that, like I can't remember actually asking like for a certain thing to be made. I'm like, if it's a fast food place, you might have your choice of like where you go, that kind of thing. But
now, shout out to my grandmother in Alabama because she would ask us every day what we wanted to eat, and I'd have to go to the Winn-Dixie and get it. She hooked us up.
Oh, that is so nice because if some kid right now be like, "Oh, I don't want to eat that." Prime example. I had a child who they didn't eat lunch. Okay? They didn't eat lunch, and I said, well, I need your carb count. They said I didn't like anything they had, so I didn't eat lunch. I ate Walkies. Is that something? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Walkie or Talkie or something. Some hot chips. I ate 2 bags.
I know what you're talking about, Talkies.
Talkies, that's it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, what's that?
They in a purple bag.
But the child didn't eat food. The child ate Talkies.
Yeah.
So that's an issue for me. Even like now, like you said, like I said, we live in a microwave society, and you were sharing that, you worked a lot. And yes, if the parent is outside the home, you're not able to cook. But then they want you to hurry up and get a job. So with welfare, it's like you got to work for your stamps so that you could go and be outside the home. But then they want you to raise your child. Oh, you're not there. It's like you darn if you do, you darn if you don't. It's like a double-edged sword. That's an issue. That's an issue.
You also have to remember that snack foods are comfort foods. And the way a lot of people live today, that's their downtime eating. A lot of that stuff, there's stuff in food that is addictive. There are certain chemicals in chocolates and certain things in chips and certain things in different...
Well, we know chocolate. Cocoa.
So a lot of times people are buying foods that make them feel better. It's not always being healthy. It's about what makes you feel better.
Well, here's the thing, though. You're right on that one, but our body craves what we need.
She needed Doritos.
No, she ain't needing no
chocolate
Doritos.
Little Debbie's.
But she was overweight. So maybe her body needed that sugar, because she was addicted to it. Just
sugar
like
is addictive.
Yeah, so maybe that could be it, but I wasn't doing it. So all in all, I need you guys to we need to take it back to the basics, like Roogle said, the foundation, lay the foundation, because somewhere everybody just like forgetting the foundation and just piling stuff on.
That's what Pat said. We've gotten away from.
Oh, did you?
She said that earlier.
Yeah, oh, okay.
The industry is
sensitized.
The industry's made it easier for you not to have to do the things that brought, like if you were making bread or something like that, or that's a process. You know what I mean? It's a learning thing.
Now, I will say, television, remember back before cable was out, I'm dating myself, before you had to hit it over to the left or to the right, and the kid was the remote, you actually had commercials. So on Saturday, they showed all the sugary, like the strawberry shortcake, all the sugary commercials. Mm-hmm. Now, with the cable, you don't really see as many food commercials.
Yeah. You're right about that.
So it's kind of like, what do you do when you take your child to the grocery store, make it a learning experience, a teachable moment, as he says, because you shared that one incident where that lady was cursing at her child when they just merely tried to open the door for her.
Oh, you talking about the laundromat?
The laundromat, yeah.
He was little boy is putting the clothes into the washer. And he's so little, he trying to grab so many clothes like he's about to fall over. And she yelling at him, "This ain't supposed to go in there yet." I'm like, he just trying to help you. You got him doing one of the worst things ever for a kid to do, is being a laundromat where you ain't going to give him a quarter to play the video game. And he's too short to even play it if you got a quarter. And then you're trying to help and you doing this.
Now, I will say laundromat, not trying to pat myself on the back. Mm-hmm. My kids was real little. And I said if they know their colors, they could sort laundry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they was sorted, and it was cool. Now, my older cousin, Robin, was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you got these kids doing laundry. They know their colors." Yeah. And they know what's going on. To me, the first time they peed in the bed, you got to wash your own sheets. I bet you won't do that no more in the middle of the night. Because if I got to be up and heck no, you are not coming to sleep with me because you might have an accident. Ain't nobody swimming. Okay, don't want to dream about swimming. I want to talk about a teacher and an affair she had with a 16-year-old boy. I can't remember where this is, but you guys can check it out. Young man, 16 years old. The teacher's name is Edmonds, Miss Edmonds. Okay, so y'all could Google her up. Miss Edmonds. Miss Edmonds. Yes, go ahead. Be on it. Thanks, because I can't even use my phone. Miss Edmonds had an affair with a student. And what he did, he said, if you don't bring me $140, I'm exposing you. She didn't bring it, and he exposed her. Now, the basketball teacher said that, he saw her waiting outside for him. And the mother said she invited Mrs. Edmonds over for Thanksgiving dinner because she didn't have any family. She did not know that she was having an alleged, air quotes, affair with her son, who was 16. How old is Miss Edmonds? It's like a riddle. How old do you think Ms. Edmonds is?
22.
Close. Very close.
21.
Okay, she's 24. So now you're hiring these teachers in as high school teachers. They're not that far apart. These little 16-year-old boys, because they feeding them junk, looking like Jolly Green Giants. Okay. You think that wouldn't possibly happen? They act so shocked. I can't remember where it actually is in this town that it occurred. But I said, to me, that would be something during the hiring process, even though you know that they're supposed to be professional, that if I was hiring the person, I would keep my eye out on that individual and just watch them, especially when you have teachers locally who wear stretch pants to work. Why are you allowing that? And you got these little boys that, you know, they horny toads, and you wearing stretch pants with no long shirt, and you're a teacher. That's inappropriate to me. And I'm not saying Ms. Evans was that way, but I'm just saying this is how things start. And to me, you got these little girls wearing these leggings when they're supposed to be wearing uniforms, but now they don't. But you're okay? Leggings should be banned, and you got a gym teacher. Quit playing. Quit playing. The gym teacher wearing sweats, and we are used to seeing the gym teacher wearing sweats, but we have the little young girls that's built like brick houses, and they're able to wear leggings. Do you think leggings should be banned?
No. I don't think
in school?
No. I think rules should be followed. My daughter went to high school, and her teachers, when they would see her in public, did not want her to call them Miss or Mr. They wanted to be called by their first and last names. I mean, their first names.
Friends.
So you might be Miss Mel or Miss Rudolph or Miss Ross, but if I see you out, you're Mel. But you are my teacher. Boundaries have been broken. Rules are not being followed. Value systems are being broken. If I saw one of my teachers out in leggings, there is still a way I am expected to talk to them.
I ain't talking about on the pub. I'm talking about at school.
Well, I went to a school where we had to wear uniforms.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why we had to wear uniforms and the boys didn't was because they said females were more competitive, and that females did handle the way they dressed differently than the males did. But I feel like we have become so governed by what we see, we are no longer accountable for how we think or behave. It shouldn't matter what people are wearing. There is still a code of conduct. There are still rules to be followed. If I hire a 24-year-old teacher to take care of her students, I don't care what they look like, how tall they are. If I have an issue with that, then there's an issue with the whole process, not just the way she's dressing, not her age. She is a teacher. He is a student, period. If you can't control yourself or discipline yourself for this, then you don't need to teach anywhere. That's just like I have a friend who knows that she cannot work in a prison. She has said it. She is a social worker. She said, I know that I cannot work in a prison because I know that personally I cannot keep myself from being attracted to some of those men who are incarcerated. So she won't accept that job.
Well, that's good.
Yes, but she understands that there is a rule of etiquette. There's a rule of conduct that goes with your position. And if you can't honor that, it is not my job to police you. These are the rules. You follow them or not, or you're out.
What's
I
your
don't care
thoughts?
what you're wearing.
I don't even have one.
You don't have one? I just think, I don't know if society, let's be real, society has brainwashed most of us. Because when I see a teacher, I expect a teacher, if I see a teacher, this is in my head, black hair, glasses, dressed conservative, and she's teaching. Now, not all teachers have to have glasses. Not all teachers have to have black hair. But in my mind, that's what I was brought up with. Teachers dress conservatively, not just out. But that's why I said the way society has set things up. When I see a doctor, a tattoo sleeve on a doctor, my mind is like, wait a minute, hold on a second. It doesn't mean that they are not smarter. However, in my mind, a doctor is like, oh, the doctor, you're really smart. You got to be really smart to be a doctor. But I'm not comfortable, and I'm going to be flat out honest. I seen a doctor that came in very nice, but when I first saw the doctor, my confidence level in the care had diminished. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Not to say that they're not smart, but we have been programmed. I've been programmed from society, but then I'm the girl that is so commercial. Like whatever they doing on a commercial, like remember that I was riding a bike. You got to eat Milky Ways when you ride a bike. I can't ride a bike without a Milky Way. I am that person, but I just don't see where it's appropriate to me because it's a distraction. If you're there to teach somebody, why are you coming in here with leggings on? Back in the day, we used to have stirrups, which was the new leggings with the strap under the bottom. But you had to wear it with a long shirt. Not that you had to, but you did.
Now that's what I'm thinking when I say that.
You wearing it with a long shirt. But when you see a teacher, and I have seen a teacher, what are you doing to these little boys? Little boys have crushes. Even on the conservative student, let's be real. On a conservative teacher. Back, I remember we had one teacher, Miss Gilmore. We had guys, they loved Miss Gilmore. She wore her skirt, her blazer. She was together all the time, and they just loved her. Now, if she knows that these little boys giggling and laughing, and I'm not saying with Miss Gilmore, but I'm just saying, period, why would you do something to entice them even more?
So are you saying that because we have this traditional thinking mindset that when you go to work next week, you're wearing a nurse's cap, a white dress with some white stockings and some white polished shoes?
Almost, because I have adapted. Now, some of the nurses, you can wear whatever you want. You can just wear your lab jacket. But guess what I wear? My white shoes. I ain't wearing no skirt. You can barely get me in a skirt at the church, okay? My nursing uniform. And I don't wear the hat because they did away with the white hat.
So you don't wear scrubs at all?
I wear scrubs. So I wear what's now, like I said, that I've adapted to the change. But they're not going to see me. Like we could wear jeans with a jacket. But here's why. The reason that I won't is because one student said to me, Nurse Ross, you always look so nice and professional. And that's when I said, now me in management, I just wore my jacket and always dressed. But being a school nurse on my that's not even part-time. Look, my PRN time, might as well say. I know that little people are watching me.
So do we go after the people who are trying to entice, or do we change the rule to affect everybody who knows how to tastefully wear leggings? I wear leggings all the time, but every time I wear them, my sweater dress, people give me sweater dresses all the time because that's what I wear with my leggings. Because I know what I need to cover up.
Because that's a Kim to go to girl got butt for days.
So I would be offended if I was told that I can't wear them just because 24-year-old Miss Edmonds is trying to entice kids with them. Let's deal with Miss Edmonds. Don't change the whole dress code because I look better in my leggings and a dress and some people look in their Easter best.
Man, Easter. Remember when people used to dress up for
yes.
Easter? That ain't happening no more. But anyway, I feel you.
You gotta look at the whole picture there.
So yes, it has to be.
I would say because she couldn't do it, right? I don't.
But you know, one person messes it up. Dress down
Ms.
Friday.
Edmonds, don't mess it up for me.
Mess up the whole thing for everybody. They be like, oh, we got dress down Friday. You got one person that's gonna mess it up for everybody. No more dress down Friday.
I do believe there should be a dress code.
And I think there is.
And especially when you...
Matter of fact...
Because everything you're saying is right. When you get these 16, 17, 18-year-old men with these 21, 22-year-old teachers who really don't even have a feel for their profession yet. You are not the same nurse today as you were when you first became a nurse. There's a whole mindset, a transition that has to occur mentally and emotionally with that. You are still trying to be cute when you coming out of college as a teacher with all these boys at 21 and 22 years old. So I understand what you're saying, but let's address this in a way that is more diplomatic because there are people who can wear leggings and not be offensive or enticing.
True. I'm with you on that.
I got issue with her on that.
You're right on that one, but you know what? It is in their dress code.
So then, does she violate it?
Clearly, and they don't say anything. Even the students.
So then, the rules are not being followed.
Right, the students violated as well because they're not to wear leggings, and it's in their code of conduct, like the dress code too. It's in that the school board.
So then,
dress code.
So
thingy.
The wrong begins at the top.
Right. So somebody needs to enforce it. How about that?
Because in that situation, the poop is rolling downhill.
Yes. yes. I will say, even the new nurses that come out, now they got some scrubs that they know they too small. They do. They come in there with them skin tight, and being in the field, the prison, like we were talking about, you know where you are. Why are you setting yourself up to be, in air quotes, potentially raped? Mm-hmm. Why? Not that all of them are rapists, but you do have those in there. Why are you doing that? You need attention? Like, give me a break. And I'm with the miss. Miss, that's it. Let's keep it the same way. Mm-hmm. Nurse, let's keep it the same way. Because guess what? When you keep it that way, when you're out in public, you know who you're dealing with. Because if you calling me male, then I'll be like, okay, you know me from here. If you call me Nurse Ross, I know you're from here. You calling me Miss Male, I know that's from the acting, because that's what they do, or some show I'm putting on. If you calling me Miss Ross, I know that's the school. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of compartmentalize certain things, but you're not ever going to be sitting there talking about call me this at school, call me this out here. No.
She had teachers who did not want to be called Miss or Mr. in public.
That's ridiculous.
It is. So
that's their friend.
There's a deeper issue going on here, and they do need attention. They do want to be recognized. They do want to feel attractive. Otherwise, they would not do it that way. Which
is really interesting. So there you go with some self-esteem issues. Gladys Knight is supposed to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. A lot of people have mixed feelings about that. Now, I don't know if you guys know, it's an upcoming what is it? Docu-series, is that what they're calling them now? Where Kelly Rowland is playing Gladys Knight, and they asked her if
why?
Yeah. They asked her, they said, would you, they didn't ask her about Gladys Knight, they asked her, would you sing the national anthem? She said, absolutely not. They asked, how do you feel about...
No one's ever going to ask her to sing the national anthem.
Well, they did it. Well, Destiny's Child, they performed.
Yeah, but they're not...
And Travis Scott...
No one's going to say...
Listen.
No one's going to say, Kelly Rowland, please sing the national anthem.
You don't think so? She can sing.
Silence.
Okay.
Come on.
She's part of a group.
Part of a group.
But Gladys Knight is going to sing the national anthem, and there's mixed reviews on that. And also Travis Scott. Watch this. Who's Travis Scott, Roogle?
I don't know. But
I'm going to tell you who Travis Scott. Travis Scott is a rapper. He's going to perform during the halftime show. Travis Scott, one of them Kardashian, not even a Kardashian. What is she? A Jenner. One of them, their kid's father. Anyway, he's performing, so they have mixed reviews on that. Now, you remember what happened with Chrisette Michele?
Yeah.
With her performing at 45's event. I don't know if it's going to really work well with Travis Scott, because people are feeling... The reason they're saying no, all the different people were saying no, they're not going to perform, is because of what's happening in the country and Colin Kaepernick. Gladys Knight, her reply was, her singing the national anthem will bring the country back together.
I think she has nothing to lose.
I agree with you 100%.
She ain't got nothing to lose. What are you going to say? With Midnight Train in Georgia, you going to listen to no more? I mean, come on. It ain't like, her relevance is in her being iconic. And if she's framing it as, I want this moment to bring America back again together, then that's her viewpoint on it. But she doesn't lose anything from doing it.
Okay, what about the rapper Travis Scott? Do y'all know anything that he sang or rapped about? Right. So he might have something to lose because he's younger.
Or everything to gain.
Everything to gain, because right now we don't know who he is. So
the young kids know who he is, and I can't even look and see what he actually... I know one of the songs. It's a popular one too, but I don't know it. It's not in my Rolodex. Yeah. That was throwback. Travis Scott. He's a rapper, and it's a song that I do listen on the radio.
I know Maroon 5, and then there's somebody else they mentioned, and I can't remember.
And I think he pulled out. Adam Levine, because remember they were supposed to. I don't know if he's still going to do it. Okay, so they're still going to perform
during the championship. They said he was going to do it.
Okay, then he's still going to do it. Okay, yeah, Adam Levine and Maroon 5. I like them. Yeah, and it's like, all right, but I could see that. I think mainly the black people are feeling as though that Colin Kaepernick took a knee to show the injustice, and we're the ones being.
Protesting, using your platform for it is what you do.
And kneeling is a form of honor. That's why I don't understand. I'm like, what's the problem taking a knee?
The problem was he was bringing light to an issue that nobody wants to recognize as an issue.
Because racism doesn't exist in America.
There were some black people who did not want to deal with that because of the money they would lose if they supported him. So, it goes across the color barrier. There were some black people who were like, well, he's messing up his money and we can't support him because that'll mess up our money. We may not get our contract.
I ain't kneeling because I need this. I had to pay for this house.
Mm-hmm. I got my couple $1 million contract, so I'm not going to mess with it. So sometimes we have to ask ourselves the price we've paid for freedom and justice in America.
But even with that, even they feel like kneeling wasn't appropriate and they need to do something different. They didn't, to my knowledge, didn't do anything different.
What was different?
They wanted to stay in the locker room.
Well, some of them said they was, stay in the locker room. But I'm saying, like, sometimes you can't, if you're going to just televise the revolution and not actually give them something to televise outside of that particular stance, then have you truly changed the mindset of people? Now, when you get, like, when you have he obviously has a forum that he can speak to, but I don't recall anybody going around saying, hey, these are the issues and why. Like, it's been more like, this is what I did during that time period. But I think the education part has failed because we expect people to know what those issues are that impact us when we protest about them, but we haven't done the education to show how it's unjust for everyone. Then there may be some challenges to getting people to understand what the issues are. I remember having a conversation with a guy. He told me, well, look, he's profiting. I was like, how is he profiting off of not doing the sport that he loves where he went to the Super Bowl and did it? I was like, he ain't get no money to be at home. And then I heard another young black man tell me, well, look, he's getting money because of Nike. I was like, Nike what? Nike what? Where was Nike at when the issue was happening? When all these black kids and men and stuff was getting shot who probably had on a pair of Nikes. Where was they at? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they came after it all subsided because it became a better business. It became a better business model for them. That's my thing.
All right, look, everybody got quiet on that one.
Yeah, I mean, if we actually looked at the shoes those people had on who got killed, I wonder what shoes they had on.
Things that make you say,
I wonder.
What kind of shoes did they have on? The ones that got killed. Because Nike is doing it. A lot of people like them.
But then they focus on the one protester and not the whole. I mean, even though the protester was a reflection of the movement, what about all those other people? Who there wouldn't be no protest without their sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. Okay, you still looking up Travis Scott?
You having a hard time finding him?
You know he has a different name, right?
Well, that's his. Yeah.
So his stage name is Travis Scott.
Well, I don't blame him because his name is Jaquise Berman Webster. I'm like, yeah, that Travis Scott is all right. And named baby, I don't even know. Okay, so he signed with
Is he from Cleveland?
From Cleveland,
Travis Scott,
Texas.
Oh.
From Texas, all right. Hey, Travis Scott is
I know who this guy is.
Do you, Kylie Jenner? There you go.
Yeah, but I don't know the song or nothing like that. But it was somebody who had tried to impersonate him or something like that.
Okay, and he was with he signed with Yeezy, so he gonna be he gonna be alright, I think. Look, I'm like, he gonna be alright, I think. Even though Yeezy is making himself relevant. I was trying to get on the book. Can't get on there. Here you go. The Facebook, because I was trying to see something on Facebook real quick. Because it got a lot of memes going on. Did you see the aging process? They said how it was a thing going around where how well did you age?
Oh, yeah.
So it had like the 10-year difference. I did a whole bunch. Look, I'm like, I did a whole bunch of pictures on my aging process. But J.J. Evans, I don't know, what is his real name? Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Walker?
Jimmy Walker. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Jimmy Carter. Lord Jesus. Still in the politics. Boy. They said they said Dynamite, and they had him on Good Times.
Oh,
Did you? And then they had him now talk about something after the explosion. I can't with y'all.
Is it aging process?
Yeah, it's the aging process. It was like a little thing that that people kind of, they played a little game on the Facebook and the social media. Now, Facebook is under fire again. I wanted to put that information. Look, I wanted to get that information for you by being on fire again because of them sharing more information. That's why if you notice, I don't know if you notice, they have a lot of commercials that come up now.
Yes.
Like, no, yes. I'm for this ad. Give me a commercial. Not. The games. What's up with the games? The games on your mobile devices with the commercials. You don't do games, do you?
No.
Social media games?
I do. Like when I do like the word games, they usually have things that pop up. But now my attention has been more on this cooking game than anything.
A cooking game?
Yeah, it's called Cooking Fever. It's my jam.
Cooking Fever. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in your pastime, you like to cook?
I guess so.
Do you still cook after the I do's?
I mean, if I want it to taste right.
Oh. See what I'm saying? That's hilarious.
No, he didn't.
So no, it's totally different cultures of cooking. So it's like if there's things that I want that are things that I'm familiar with, I have to make them. She don't know.
Oh, hey, listen, it's supposed to be really, really cold, especially next week. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Cleveland. The RTA is offering free around-the-clock rides to people seeking shelter for the cold, so they get to ride the bus all day.
All right.
How about that one?
And all night.
Yeah, well, yeah, and all night. There is a superintendent. Like I said, I can't really give you all of the information as far as where she is because my recall is doing something different. I got all this information in my head at one time. Anyway, she is being charged with insurance fraud.
Yeah, that's
Indiana. And she's being charged with insurance fraud because one of the students is really sick and she put him on her insurance. Just, I thought that was a nice thing.
She put him on her health insurance?
Yes. So she's facing multiple criminal charges after she used her insurance to help a sick student get treatment. And it's like she's not his guardian or parent, so she just put him on there. I thought that was.
So the parents knew about it?
Yeah, the parents knew about it.
I saw one post that someone commented that it's legally wrong, but morally right. Why she did it.
It really is to me.
Help somebody, but legally it's wrong.
Yeah, legally it's wrong. Now, I remember when before President Obama said it was okay to marry through the same-sex marriage, you could put your Supreme Court, thank you. But I'm going to say President Obama. President Obama.
He said it happened under his administration.
Yes, it did.
His name was flying in the air during the time.
Yes. That they would allow you to put your partner on the insurance. However, if you had a common law marriage, which they threw out the door, a long time ago, out the window,
right.
With heterosexuals, you couldn't. And the reason that is because they weren't able to get married. Mm-hmm. So they allowed it. And I'm wondering how that, you know what I'm saying?
It's not going to because he has parents. So if he didn't have parents and she tried to do that, then maybe that theory would work.
Okay.
But he had parents who fully understood that she was going to break the law for that purpose.
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing.
It's conspiracy.
Yeah.
Conspiracy. All right, you Wendy watchers, let me let you know what's going on. Wendy Williams. I like Wendy Williams. She has not come back yet. She was supposed to come back January, I want to say the 14th, her new shows. Well, she has not come back yet. They said that she is sick. They don't know, with her condition, she has a thyroid issue. They said that she's been hospitalized. However, word to the curb is that she's in an abusive relationship. The mother-in-law, alleged, the mother-in-law came out and said that her son beat her. Talking about his wife, talking about Wendy, I guess, kicked her down some stairs and all this other stuff. Yes, and her shoulder was messed up, and allegedly, they're saying it was done by the husband. her husband. Now, in case you guys don't know, because what's been swarming in the universe is that her husband has impregnated his mistress. And they're thinking that that's why Wendy has not come back yet. And she still hasn't come back yet. So there's a lot of people there that are probably like praying that she comes back so that they can have a job. Look at him laughing. Listen, I love the show. I went to the show. I had a good time at the show. It was a big party the whole time. And then you have the same thing. You have all these people that are like, their job depends on one individual. And that's something you don't realize how important that one person is.
Hammer time.
How about that? And Roogle, I can't believe you didn't talk about Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen. Now, I'm sure you guys know already. He postponed his house testimony due to threats against his family. You think
who?
45.
45.
Who those threats come from?
45. And also, do you remember 2 weeks ago, not last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the quadriplegic who ended up pregnant at the nursing facility, and they tested all the workers.
They found him.
They got a match. Well, we've got a match. They ain't even have to go to Maury.
Did they get a match? Or did they get a match?
They got a match. They arrested a nurse.
I seen the
in
picture.
the rape.
You might as well call that former nurse because he just done.
Right. There you go.
The license
And wait, he got a family at home too. He got a family at home, but her parents said that their daughter is not in a vegetative state like they were saying. She knows what's going on, and I'm like, huh? And her family is actually, remember, we didn't know for sure who was going to take care of the baby.
So she's not in a coma.
Right. She knows what's going on, and she has seizures, multiple seizures, so that's where her issue is at.
Oh, okay.
And her family actually took the child, and they're raising the baby. I want to say it's a little boy, but yes, his DNA matched the baby's DNA.
So his lawyer said they wanted another lab to run the DNA because there had to be some type of issue with the results. So
well, I know.
That's what
You
they're
always
saying.
want your own evidence.
You definitely want that, because I'll be like, who done put this here? And looking at this nurse, and I know we're not supposed to just judge people from the way they look. I'm looking like,
Does he
what?
look like an ex-boxer?
No,
Like
he doesn't look.
The eyes like off to the side.
Is that
the one? Or maybe because somebody showed me the picture and I was like, that's the guy? Yeah, that's the guy.
He's asleep.
He's asleep?
He's asleep. Look at him. I'm like, he's asleep.
Look like he look like from Mike Tyson Punch Out.
No. But like, that's what happened. What happened to the guy? He looks asleep. So yes, he was a well, I said was. Yes, he was a nurse. I know they probably like, what? 36-year-old nurse Nathan Sutherland.
Uh-oh. How you spell that Sutherland?
That's a Sutherland.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Be like, wait, hold on a minute. Let's do some more DNA. Ancestry.com. Let's see, is there any type of relatives? Any type of connection with the Youngstown area? But they're speaking of, he'll be charged with 1 count of sexual assault and 1 count of vulnerable adult abuse for the incident. That's different. That is different. I don't know, what do you do? What do you do in cases as such? Can you imagine working there?
Because she's still there, or they moved her to a different facility?
Oh no, she's still at the facility.
The same one?
She's still there, but he's obviously removed from the situation. I was like, jeez, y'all got too much going on.
So they're saying that it was consensual between her and the guy?
I don't know what the parents are actually saying, but it sounded like that they were saying that when they said she wasn't a vegetable. And I'm looking at it as maybe the parents, because that was just their daughter, that's all they had, and then she had a baby, so they're probably happy, like, now we get to raise a second chance. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say they're almost hurting themselves to say that she actually knows what's going on. You know, maybe she was able to give consent. That would give his attorney another avenue after the DNA comes back and he's still the dad. But I don't know. That's one to be seen.
All right, I think I could play the games. Maybe not. Let's see. All right, did y'all hear? One more time. I only can play just this little section. This is the game talking about Kim K. Oh, wait a minute. There it is.
Calling her out.
Right, didn't he?
Oh, wow.
Yes!
That's a song?
Yes, that's a song. We talked about that early on, and I wanted to give the information, but I couldn't because I could not locate it. Even with the Neville sisters out of Youngstown, I'll show you this because I'm able to play this for you too, where you can see the difference, or not the difference, the similarities. The first part of it is going to be the Neville sisters. That's the Neville sisters. Here we go now. Yes. Okay. Miss Richard. Did you see the video that they put it on? She's on.
I haven't seen it because it was kind of late and I didn't want to make a lot of.
You saw it, didn't you? She's sitting there, and I'm like, they're using the vocals of the Neville sisters. That's what I'm saying. These janky producers, they taking old gospel songs and putting it there thinking that, okay, well, because you figure like R&B, well, you see Charlie Wilson ain't playing.
Right.
Y'all use this stuff. Not happening because people are still alive. The Isley Brothers, they tried to use that. Boom. Not happening. Like I said, P. Diddy started that message. Just like, okay, we could just do this, and I guess they just won't know that it's their music. Nope, they're coming back. So then they went in and decided to go with the gospel. They thought, okay, well, this is secular music. They won't know.
They know.
They know. I'm like, get paid. Neville sisters, get paid. That's a new artist that came out. Yes, a new artist came out.
All I'm saying is be the cat, not the copycat.
Well, did they try to take credit for writing the lyrics and everything?
No, that whole let it, that is the Neville sisters vocals.
Oh.
That the first one I showed you, or that you listened to, was the Neville sisters. The next one, that's why I said, okay, here we go. They took those vocals, let it fall on me, but the girl is riding the horse on it. And it's really interesting. And I'm like, even though that was done, that song was done in the 80s. And now 2018, you figure, oh, okay, they don't know.
They won't know.
They won't know. They still alive, girlfriend. They still alive. Quit playing. And I'm like, psh, these folks is, listen, people doing what they want to do.
Yeah. But you know what's funny, though? I forgot what I was watching, and they had, what's his name? Robin Thicke. He was performing, and this was after everything. It was recently. He was performing Blurred Lives.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
okay, Robin Thicke.
He's still performing the song, and you know, and that
they paid him for Marvin Gaye.
Yeah,
yeah.
So he has the right. He can
the
sing
family.
it now.
Yeah, he can sing
it
now.
now with no shame.
Listen, he was feeling
No
some type of
shame.
way. He went, but he Robin Thicke did the right thing. He went to Pharrell, who produced it. Pharrell, you did this,
Right.
And that's what they was like. Hey, he threw Pharrell under the bus. Pharrell's the one with the music. I'm just behind the mic. So, but they did. They settled with Marvin Gaye's family, so they didn't have that issue.
Hey,
and so
hey,
he
hey.
could, right,
They want him to sing it now because every time he sing it, they getting paid too.
right.
Yeah.
So they probably like, go right ahead, do
Go
what you
ahead.
do.
Sing on.
All right. Shop Talk question of the week. When in a relationship, is it disrespectful to love, this is on socials, on your socials, to love another male or female's pick?
To love. Was
The heart.
Oh.
Not like the heart.
Well, it depends. It depends on what the eye is captured in that look. You know what I mean? What do I love about it? Maybe I love the colors. Maybe I love the clarity of her.
Yeah, okay.
Of the,
Well, that's the story that's gonna be stuck to.
Right.
I was just loving the background. I was loving the
Those
colors.
are great shoes.
it was a lovely picture.
That was a nice
What do you
outfit.
think?
Is it just like an individual? Because I click love on sometimes when I see couples pictures and it just looks really nice.
Couples. But see, listen to the question. See, you said you. When in a relationship.
So when you are the couple.
Right. Is it disrespectful to love another, in your case, male's picture that is not related to you? Would you be mad if your dude loved another female's picture that went down and you'd be like, hold on, or ex's picture?
Well, what's the picture look like?
We don't know. See, you're going way too deep. It ain't that serious.
Is it like
it's a single picture of a female.
Regular just picture, like, oh, look at that lovely picture.
Okay, here you go. This actually, the Shop Talk question of the week was prior to what was going on, and I want to say this was on Steve Harvey.
I was just thinking that same question.
Where
this
X,
is the same thing.
Yes, and look, I did a Shop Talk question prior to their little strawberry letter they had, where an ex, a man was married, and the ex died. Her brother called this woman's husband and asked would he be a pallbearer.
Because she still loved him.
Because she still loved him.
She died. So
the wife was like, we'll go as a family. They will go to the services, but you better not carry nothing.
What? What, to carry the coffin?
You ain't carrying. Why does my husband need to carry his ex-girlfriend's coffin?
Because he's best friends with the relative
right.
he asked.
Right. No.
Whoa. Why would the wife feel any competition?
Yeah,
the woman is deceased.
Listen,
and if they were friends, and he gave her himself while she was alive. He didn't deal with her.
I get that part.
But that didn't mean that he still didn't have a love for her.
He probably did. Listen here, you better find somebody. Because here's the thing, they might be cool, but it said, the brother, his homeboy said, she loved you to the day she died.
But they did not entertain that.
Right.
They did not feed into that.
Right.
All they were saying was they used to date. The couple's been married for 8 years. Mm-hmm. And so now this longtime ex, those were the words, longtime ex has died.
I don't believe it.
And so the best friend is related to the longtime ex, and they wanted the man who's now married, 8 years into his marriage, to be a pallbearer. The wife said, hex to the no.
I think she tripping.
You think she tripping? I think it was. I think they were still kicking it.
Well,
8 years. I think they still was kicking it.
I don't think that they were.
Why she still loving him to the day she died?
Some people are like that
because she still loved him.
Yeah, some people are like that.
So she wasn't ready to let it go.
Listen,
but he had let her go.
Right.
She's dead.
I know. Let me. Well, she ain't gonna do nothing now, hopefully. But what I'm saying is this. And hope she don't haunt them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and carry the casket before she haunts you. I feel like I know people who have married people and still kick it with the ex. Hence the book, How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman. You can get that at Barnes & Noble, Balboa Press, and Amazon.com. Okay? Listen to the title, How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman. So, technically, in this case, she probably wasn't the wife. She was a girlfriend. He married somebody else and still kicking with the girlfriend. How you doing?
So the love is wrong with what you're saying here on Facebook.
All of that stuff, we cannot.
We're just making an assumption. We're just speculating and selling the book.
From the information presented, the answer is, why is she tripping?
I mean, she is.
Casket.
Right.
She said that they was going to go to the service.
You have relationships with whole families. And because you moved on,
that
doesn't mean you hate the family. This was his boy. And you know that your sister still loved him. She never moved on. She never married anybody else.
She probably died of heartbreak, huh? Poor thing. The least you could do. The least you could do is carry my casket out and die of heartbreak.
All the other brothers, and you are like one of our brothers still.
Yeah.
We don't hate you because you didn't make
No, ain't nobody saying nothing about them hating her. We ain't saying nothing about
where her heart was. But can you be one of the pallbearers?
I think the wife is making a huge mistake.
All right, here we go. Next Shop Talk question of the week. Who do you think comes first, the spouse or the children?
Children.
Spouse.
Why do you say children?
Children are forever.
That's terrible.
Because the children are forever, that's why the spouse ain't. If you're choosing a partner for life, and that is the person that you really feel compatible with and that you're supposed to be with, you will live a life where it's not about choice. Everybody has their place in the situation. You shouldn't feel like it's your spouse over your kids. The couple, they make the trunk of the tree, and all fruitful relationships should come from that. If that is not the way you're approaching it, then there's a problem to begin with.
Okay, well, let's hear what LaToya said. LaToya said, with the world we live in, some people may have 2 or 3 spouses throughout a lifetime. So does that mean their children will continue to become second, third, or fourth? A spouse may come and go, but that child will always be yours.
But if you feel like that about your spouse, then don't marry that person.
Well, maybe the spouse is the wrong term we're looking for. Maybe it's just the person that they had a sexual intercourse with and had a child.
Because I'm not going to dog my kid for anybody.
But let's not keep it biblical.
Yeah, let's keep it biblical. Let's not do all that.
Well, here's the thing. If you have a spouse, like you said, that spouse comes first. The kids are second, because guess what? When those kids grow up, they out. Deuces.
And it's not.
That's the thing. When that spouse grow up, they don't go nowhere. They just be staying there.
Well, the two
and your kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Get
There should
out.
be a 1 or a 2. That's what I
So
said.
there shouldn't
Why
be
are we
a comparison.
numbering? Everybody has their place of equal value in that relationship.
Kids first.
See him, kids first. That's because he had the child first.
I was
but it's
say,
supposed
now,
to be
so
the
now
spouse.
we're looking at blended families. We're looking at you
Yes,
married
yes.
500 times. So when you add all of those other factors,
500 times.
yeah. So when you add all those other factors, well, then it's a deeper conversation. But as marriage was intended, there is no first or second. My spouse holds the place as my co-head of household, and we have these kids.
Mm-hmm.
They are the trunk of the tree.
Okay, now see, I'm with you. I'm not with Roogle, because if you don't have children, you got family. That means your family come first that you had before me.
Can they go to the fridge and
Well,
eat your
well,
cobbler?
Right.
Well, the thing is,
Eat up Papa pudding.
when you start talking about family members and you start talking about your children,
Your family's
that's
gonna
a
be there. When you do
different thing,
family
though.
members, let's go with your mother, your sister, your brother.
It's different. I just think, I don't know. Kid first.
He says kid first.
I think.
All right, here we go. Yes or no answer. Being a good parent is preparing your child to leave home.
Yes.
True or false?
Yes. Preparing in a good way. Not to say get that plastic bag. Don't take no shelves of bed. If you want to be grown, get gone. Not that kind of leaving the nest, but truly giving them skills and talents to
Be
survive.
self-sufficient. True.
But that's what it is. Being a good parent is preparing your children to leave home. If your child, here's the thing though, preparing your children to leave home. They ain't never leaving if they ain't get everything they need. So I'm like, it is what it is. It's flat out. True or false? I believe it's true. Because your child, preparing your children to leave home.
But parents and kids cohabitate peacefully oftentimes. So so I guess technically the answer to that is true, because they can be prepared to leave home even if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I know I've known a few women where they've been in their late 20s and they haven't left because traditionally their families want them to be married off before they leave home. But they're prepared to go. They got full jobs, cars, insurance, all kind of stuff. But that's just their family's tradition.
Okay. Now we talking about people stealing songs. This group did not steal a song, okay? But here's you guys remember Apple Bottom Jeans by Flo Rida?
I remember the song, but wasn't that whatchamacallit's brand? Nelly's
Mountain
brand.
favorite called
Yes.
Low. All right, it's the Cleverleys. Check them out tonight at the Paramount
I
Inn in
heard
Bristol.
this song.
Here they are this afternoon on News 5 today.
All right. Here's a white band. Oh man, did I
A
get
country
it?
band, country western. I
They changed it up.
Shorty got them apple bottom jeans, these boots with the bird. The whole club is looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got
Go ahead, Flo Rida. Flo Rida. I mean, he crossed over.
I heard
Cross-
this song before.
Crossed over. I was like, ah.
Because there's a rendition of what's his name? Jay-Z's song. I got 99 Problems.
Oh, and the trick ain't one of them.
It is performed by country singers.
Oh, that's funny. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody just switching over. They're like, y'all doing it right, I can do it too.
Renditions, you know what I mean? And obviously they must have had permission.
All right, I got a question for you lovely people. All Are you ready? Mm-hmm. How hard is it for you to receive a compliment?
It's easy.
Is it easy?
I'm like, oh, thank you. But it was so funny because the other day I said something about, it was this guy who I was working with. And I was introducing him to somebody. I was like, he's a talented, informative, knowledgeable man. And he said, on top of that, I was like, my man.
It was a compliment he added to it.
Not like you're doing too much, but because usually people, the first time you build them up, they try to be kind of modest with it.
Right,
and he was like, on top of that, I was like, oh. My man, I'll never forget that, man. That had me rolling.
It's like, you all right? What about you?
It's hard for me to accept it.
I believe it'd be hard for you. Why?
Probably because it took time for me to feel comfortable with myself. It took time for me to feel comfortable with my physical appearance, and it took me time to just have that level of confidence. So when the spotlight is on me or people focus on me, it's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. I'm working through that. I am coaching myself through the process of being able to just say thank you. But yes,
really?
It's been hard.
I found out, like, from what you said, I don't see, like, because, and me, I know you for some time, but like throughout that time I've known you, you seem to be on a constant study. I know Luther Vandross up and down, but like when you said like the image thing, I'm like, yeah. That's surprising.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
the stuff that we don't know about other people.
Yeah, because I don't think there's any reason for you to have any. No one's looking at you thinking anything different than like, yeah, it's right.
Yeah, and I thank you for that. See,
Yeah.
but even that was hard for me, and I really had to learn to work my way through that. I used to sort of like, okay, thank you, and people think I'm standoffish, or people think I'm cocky and very confident. That is how, people have told me, you're not like I thought you were. I've heard that so many times. But yeah, putting me like out there, that's hard for me.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now me, kind of like the situation that he was saying, I'm a little different. So like a compliment to me, thank you, but I don't want to, you do get that feeling of, I don't want to seem like I'm not humble, and I don't like really, honestly, listen, people, they be like, yeah, right. They don't know that I'm really a shy person. And I talk myself through it. And I'm like, okay, showtime. And I've been acting for a long time. And every time, soon as I'm getting ready to go out on stage, since I was probably like 5 or 6, I always got to pee. Mm-hmm. And as I got older, I realized that that's nerves. And then it'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, showtime. And I have to go. Now, as far as getting things done and putting things together, I can do that. I can be behind the stage the whole time. And anybody that knows me, they'll know I'm in the background. I'll be like, because the accolades that I get is if whoever is doing it, if they do well. And not that I need it from other people. When I see they reach their highest potential, I'm like, yes. That's when I feel good. But when people be like, oh, you did a great job, but I always be like, no, they did a great job. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, boom, I wrote down the plays, they executed it, bam, it is what it is. But you do get that feeling, and you don't want to come off like you said, it was like, and da-da-da-da.
Because like, on top of that, I was
that is hilarious.
Hey, I never, like, I giggled and everything. Like, I was like, that is, I wasn't mad at you, though. I wasn't mad. I was just like, he just took it. I would have been like, oh, thank you, blah, blah. He was like, and on top of that.
Don't forget this.
Or you be sitting back there like, and I did this too. You forgot?
You forgot that?
That was good. That was good.
That just happened, yes, actually, yesterday.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Listen, people be thinking that in their head. They're like, and I did this.
Yeah,
since you're putting it all out there, you forgot. Get it all right. Get it all right. That is so funny.
There's a local gentleman running for president, too.
Yeah, I heard that. And listen, I ain't even have him even running for school board because I didn't vote for him, Dario Hunter.
Yeah.
And now he running for president.
President of what?
Everybody
That
says
country.
president of school board.
He's running for the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Wow.
I I think they just
That's
put it
the
out there
first.
to get your
Let's
attention.
put it.
Well, you got
He
it.
is the first gay rabbi Muslim.
Did you say
That-
Rabbi Muslim?
I did say that. That was listen, it was all out in the news. You can look it up. I ain't making this stuff up.
He's a distraction. He's a distraction.
Well, that's
And I
the
think
answer.
It's just kind of sad every time that distractions do something. We give them. They set out and they achieve what what their goal is to distract you. So that kind of saddens me when I see everybody get distracted by the distraction instead of saying that's a distraction, not paying it any attention, and
You
stay
did butter
focused because that's a
You know
distraction.
what I'm saying? Them extra bodies.
Need butter cookies. I was talking about it. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of these.
The other thing is, I would say is that if you have a dream, it's not
Chase
bad
it.
to chase after it. You know what I mean? I mean, however, how unlikely it may be to achieve that, you know. But I just kind of feel like, yeah.
There's a difference between a dream and a scheme. Okay, let's
You're
be
right.
real.
You're right.
There's a
You're
difference between the two.
All right. But that's not my role in this show. I'm an equalizer.
Go good.
That's not my role.
Equalizer.
You gotta know your role. And my role is not that. I just brought the news out and it's like,
Yeah, you started it.
I
And
said,
listen,
here's
the-
a nice rock. And
Yes.
there's a glass.
listen in the glass house over there. Listen, and me putting that information out there is because that was his platform when he ran for the school board. And he said it. He's the first gay rabbi Muslim. And I believe him. Never heard of that before. All right, so for you lovely people that don't know, you got 45 or Daryl Hunter. Who you going to choose? Don't choose Harambe. And who else?
Any of the other ones you make up.
So you never know what
Choose
you'll end up
somebody on the
getting.
ballot.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's a right
right.
in.
Choose somebody actually on the ballot.
Yeah, somebody that's actually there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing is that he could actually get on the ballot if he becomes the nominee for that party.
How about that?
You know what I mean? But that's far beyond Mahoning County. That's every county in all the counties, and somewhere they call them if you don't have counties, you have what starts with a P. What is it called?
Precincts?
Nope. Louisiana has them. They don't have counties. They have starts with a P.
It's not a Providence, is it?
Nope. I think it's PA. Maybe it's part of something.
We'll find out. But while we are trying to find that out,
Go ahead.
look, while we're trying to find that out, since we was talking about the compliments, I'm going to give you some quick tips. Really, really fast. All right. Quick tips. If you have an issue with compliments, never undermine the compliment. Avoid the wasn't a big deal. Oh, that's all right. That little thing wasn't an issue, because guess what? The complimenter may feel as though that you're rejecting them.
Yeah. You know what I want to do next time I get a compliment?
What?
It's all of the day's work.
Which is super. Yeah, with a
It's all of the day's
superhero.
work.
It's superhero pose.
Like, I would say thank you. You'll never have to.
And fly off. Hilarious. Also, share the credit. You got to share the credit, lovely people. If you don't share the credit, if you are on a team, if it's a team effort, you got to say, hey, we did a great job. Thank you very much. I couldn't have done it alone.
Is that how that dude sleazy line would come out and be like, thank your mama for the, what the hell you say? What did people used to say? Like, they'd be like, it was something like, if a woman looked good, thank your mama for whatever. Y'all never heard this before? Man, y'all playing me.
But I'm
this
so
is the
cold.
one thing I got that should be culturally relevant to say. And now nobody knows what I'm talking about.
All right, but let me finish this one. Let me finish the other quick tips real quick, all right? I already told you want to share the credit. You also want to not downplay the compliment. You want to say thank you, show an expression of gratitude, meaning don't stand there with your arms crossed. If somebody pays you a compliment, thank you. And avoid the compliment battle. How many people have issues with avoiding the compliment battle? I believe
Girl,
you do.
you look good in that. Girl, you look good in your eyes.
Yes.
That is funny because one thing I admire, like it'll be a situation where, like, okay, this happened to me the other day. Like it was a gentleman in front of me and a gentleman coming out the store, but we were going in and out the same door.
Uh-huh.
And both of them stopped, and everybody's like, "Oh no, you go! Oh no, you go!" And I said, "Chivalry is going to have us in the code, and you never get into your car." I was like, "But thank you very much. I appreciate all the kindness." You know what I mean? You know, because it was an older black man, a mid, maybe younger black man than myself. You know, who's timeless. So,
or when you get a thank you card, do you send somebody else a thank you card for the thank you card?
Thank you.
Or somebody get you a gift, and then when they give you a gift, do you give them a gift to thank them for giving you a gift?
I'm usually bad at having follow-up letters or correspondence, so usually at the time if someone gives me something, I hope it's gracious. I hope I receive it graciously enough to where they feel like it's been appreciated and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Usually when people do give you things, that's what they do. They want you to say they not looking for anything in return. Now, if somebody's looking for things in return, they got issues.
Yeah. And then the thing is, like, you don't always have to say, like, because I'm like, if I see something for somebody, I think, oh, they might like that, and I was like, oh, I'll get it. Like, I'm not trying to talk about this, using an example. One day I was going to get. Remember, I came in with all the pastries that you didn't like, and it hurt my feelings. But that's okay.
Oh,
but they had a Mickey Minnie House hat on sale, and she doesn't really care for Minnie, but likes Mickey. And I said, all you gotta do is cut the ribbon off, and you got the hat. Has she worn it? And it's been winter time. Not one time. That's all right though.
Did I wear it? I did wear it.
Nah, man.
I think I did wear the hat.
See, that's how you show. That's how you show that you're grateful. Like, you be like, you just find a reason. Oh, I gotta go outside real quick.
Let me go grab the mail.
Hold on, let me go out there and put this bag of trash out. Where's my hat at that I always wear, that I never wear, that nobody know about? But it's cool. It's
but the thought,
you talk bad about my pastries and you ain't wore the hat.
Listen, the pastries. You know what I appreciated?
No,
I appreciated the fact that you said, "Let's try it." Because did I try it?
Yeah.
There you go. I tried it.
Would it be a parish?
Yeah.
Parish, she said PA.
Yeah.
We found it a parish. So would you say they don't have counties?
Yeah.
They have parishes.
Yeah.
Who's drinking warm lemon water?
But you know what I wanted to say a little bit ago when we were talking about Mr. Hunter and running for not the president of the school board, where he actually holds a seat on the school board.
Yeah.
You gotta talk louder because I can't hear you.
Yeah, not for president of the school board, where he holds a seat as a school board member, but he's talking about president of the United States. Because you can articulate a sentence well, and you have some knowledge in various backgrounds, does not mean that you are presidential material. That may not be your call or your purpose. So give you that you may be intelligent, but you still may not be presidential.
Okay, now here's the issue with that, because 45 is not presidential.
This is what I'm going to say.
And listen, he can't even articulate a sentence. Now this is just me talking.
You know what, he has some other sentences, but he's a distraction right now, and people refuse to see
that.
But
the issue is that...
because he's spoken some sentences.
The issue is that you don't have to...
Before this.
You may not have to be we expect a certain level of this. We think the person should be this high. But the thing is that can you get votes? And he got votes.
Even Daryl Hunter got votes to be on the school board. Didn't nobody even freaking know him. He hired a freaking temp agency to go out there, and he hired all the black people, and they went up there, and then you asked the girl, because I was working the polls, volunteer. You know him? She didn't even know him.
Yeah, but the thing is like the issue is
she got paid.
If you get there, I mean, okay, so you have an issue of where you may say an uninformed voter that does something, whatever. You know what I mean? But then you have the issue of, like, overall, have I devised a way to get votes to win? And Trump did that. Trump was able to
win. And so did Daryl Hunter. He got on there.
He had money. But Trump had money, but Trump also had a message that the people that voted for him responded to.
Yeah, the wall, and Mexico was going to pay for it.
Well, yeah, all that stuff, and
it was bigger than that, though. It was bigger than that. It was so much bigger than that, because the message that the people responded to was the same. A lot of it was the same conversation that people have in private. It was just exposed.
Make America great
Again
now,
was
to
the
us,
opposite word.
it's like, well, what do you mean by that? But to them, they totally get it.
It was again. Make it white again.
It was exposure. There's so much that was exposed at this time that we refuse to look at that exposure.
I don't think we refuse till we see it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
and the distraction and the effects that it actually is having on the people.
Yeah, but there's everything that happens.
Examine yourself. You better know yourself and examine yourself.
Yeah, I just think it's just like kind of like, and I hate to put politics on the same level as sporting events, but it's the same. It's like, oh, I'm going to support this party because of whoever supported it. It's been carried down to me to support it because this is whatever. And then some people don't look at the issues. I remember going around canvassing people, and this is for the gubernatorial race. And people would tell me, well, are you talking about the Democrat or the Republican?
Yeah, that's all they cared about.
And that's all they cared. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even like what the issues were. And, one of the issues I was trying to bring out there was issue 1 that we had in Ohio that was talking about prison reform, getting people treatment for drugs and all that stuff. Which we had a lively debate on the show.
Yes, we did.
But the point was, what did the president do? He did the same thing at the federal level. You know what I mean? But it was something Obama was trying to do, though. They didn't get passed. The Republicans weren't for it. But now they were for it, you know? But
What,
the thing
for
is,
the sake of the party.
Sake of the party, sake of the people in the party who have broken the law, who knows? But
he said sake of the broken the law.
Sake of
the people in the party that broken the law. Yeah, you see how many...
But the point is that, like, sometimes for reform to happen, you got to get it however you can, you know? And in that case, I think that was something positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he believed it was positive because he gonna keep talking about it. And y'all can't even keep Twitter fingers off the dog on Twitter. He ain't listening to nobody doing what he want to do as if it's a dictatorship. My problem is nobody still yet to see his taxes.
What I didn't like was on his announcement on his thing that he did on the 8th of January or whatever, and he talked about how black and other minorities are being impacted by the security threats and all this stuff, or with the Mexicans coming across the border. I'm like, nah, bro, we got all kinds of different types of problems.
Yeah, and he also said that blacks and Mexicans were the ones that was going to be affected by the shutdown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even know. It's more Caucasian people that get government assistance.
But it ain't even about the government assistance part. It's about the employees, you know, the families of that. And then the thing is that our country should be a representation of the people. So if you say that blacks and Latinos or other populations are going to be impacted, well, they should, because they are hired by the government and should be hired by the government. So yeah, of course they're impacted. But that impact happened because you made a decision that was not one where we were saying, let's go to war because these people have attacked us. It's more or less, let's do this because I made a campaign promise, and I made a campaign promise that the country was going to pay for it. Now, I cannot honor that, but I still want my cake and eat it too.
And I want my name on there, and I want to get out of office.
Might as well, the Great Wall of Trump.
That's what he wants. But see, he also went into a little more detail when he said for government assistance. See, that's what I caught. That's who's going to be affected, the people that are getting government assistance.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's true, but it's like, you don't know, it's more Caucasians that get government assistance.
Per capita. Not just number, per capita.
Right, so go sit down. I'm like, bye, Ike, you abuser. Like, get out of here.
She posted it on Facebook.
Not to mention this, I mean, all kind of elderly, the youth, everybody's impacted by it.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I was going to do my male's medical moments, and it's going to be really, really easy because I'm going to put it together as the footnote for today's show. Stress, a stress reliever. Very easy. Own your own mess. You'll be less stressed. Once you admit that you have an issue or whatever the problem is.
Oh, your stuff. I thought you meant your actual belongings. Like own your own car, own your own house, own your own toothbrush.
I said own your own mess.
Well, mess. That's your mess over there.
Yeah, own your own mess. If you got a problem with yourself and you trying to hide it, it's more stressful trying to pretend that you are somebody that you are not.
Okay.
Than it is to say, okay, this is me. I have flaws, and guess what? I'm cool with it. I'm working on that, and accept me for how I am. Why? Because this is the show where it's okay to be you. Thank you, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. I missed you last week. This upcoming week, we're going to talk about She's Gotta Have It. Even though we know that that's a topic from Spike Lee's movie. Mm-hmm. And also in February the 8th, we talked about Taraji P. Henson. She has that What a Man Wants.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And I can't wait to see it because that will be freaking hilarious. And that's where she gets to listen to the thoughts of a man. She went to some like tarot reader or whatever, one of those psychics, and that's what occurred. Erykah Badu is in that, right?
I don't know, but I know the movie is actually the opposite of what the movie was with Mel Gibson when he played in What a Woman Wants.
Ah, quit playing. So don't tell me.
This is kind of like
just a remake.
I was thinking it was going to be anyway.
Yeah.
So
he
everybody just taking everybody's idea.
Like he could hear women's thoughts and stuff.
See what I'm saying?
It's not a fresh idea.
Dang, come on, y'all. We gotta get original. What's going on? We stealing the songs from the church, stealing the church's music. Then we stealing the ideas of other people. Yeah. Come on, let's be authentic. And guess what, lovely people? If you're in the area, yes, I got a play coming out, and I'm getting ready to call some people that I had before, and this will happen in November since that's usually my time.
Right.
I'm excited about it, and Roogle actually named it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it's called Front and Center.
Oh, wow.
And it's SINNER. You better preach!
All right.
All right, yeah, so Roogle named that, and we're going to sit there. It's going to be live, all the way live. We'll give you more details when that come up, and we'll be doing, if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I posted an old casting call. There's a reason. There's a means to my madness. All right? There's a means to my madness. So here again, thank you again. I thoroughly enjoyed you guys for tuning in to Shop Talk with Mel. Y'all already know how we do it here. We keep it real. We have Kim, the go-to girl. We got my co-host, Roogle, the movie guy. That, like he said, he's here for the balance. And he's here to
equalize.
He said equalize, but we know he like lighter fluid. He like the lighter fluid. He be like, okay, this ought to help. Let me add this. Woo! Blow it up and I catch it. I'm like, oh, it's a fire.
Yeah, he like Uncle Gus in the background.
Yeah. So this is giving down his calm. He like, boom. Let's go ahead and see what she say about this here. All right, find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop Talk! Every Saturday on Spreaker.com.